Chapter 48-43. The two 8-star war gods of the demonic dragon tribe were scared the moment this expert from the Nether Palace made his move. They knew that the war gods from the Nether Palace were extremely powerful. Even the two of them might not be able to gain the upper hand in a short time. What made them want to vomit blood was that the young man was completely unscathed under their attacks. He looked very relaxed. Am I right? Even if I stand here and let you attack me, you might not be able to kill me. I can only say that you are still a little bit lacking. I wonder if you have heard of this saying? Only by doing this can we have feelings for each other. Therefore, I will return the favor with a move. At this moment, Lin Fei's heart was filled with happiness. 30 levels of the infinite divine body was really awesome. He was completely unscathed even under the attacks of two 8-star war gods. The most important thing was that his honor points kept rising. Sure enough, the honor points provided by these war god level fighters were much higher. Compared to before, it was much more impressive. Of course, it was still far from the Orb of Faith. If that was all, it would have been fine. They didn't expect this guy to have the nerve to attack them. It looked like he was going to give them another move. He was embarrassed. Even some of the other war gods were the same. No one could have imagined such a situation. Even the one from the Nether Palace was the same. I have always been a very fair person. Both of you have made a move, so I will also give you a punch each. I hope the two of you can hold on. Lin Fei was obviously going to teach these two 8-star war gods a lesson they would never forget. He launched his mind projection in an instant. This time, after launching his mind projection, his movements were even faster. Everyone's eyes flashed. The silhouette disappeared, followed by a cry of surprise. A loud rumbling sound came from the body of one of the 8-star war gods. His body split open and blood flowed. The other 8-star war god from the demonic dragon tribe was the same. His heart trembled and blood flowed out. The two of them were hundreds of thousands of miles away in the blink of an eye. The distance between them was as far as it could go. Even so, their faces were filled with fear. They were actually injured, and their injuries were severe. Their physical bodies were about to collapse in an instant. They're injured. They're actually injured. What was that move just now? I can't tell, so I can only say that it has something to do with time. No, that's not right. It's not related to time. It's a powerful attack aimed at the physical body. If you want to withstand this move, you must have a strong body. Without a strong body, you will lose or die for sure. No matter who it was, their hearts trembled at this moment. This was truly unexpected. This young man was so mysterious. The two war gods of the demonic dragon clan also felt the same. They glanced at each other and felt the absolute pressure. In the face of this move, they were unable to withstand it at all. In the blink of an eye, their physical bodies, which they thought were strong, were broken through. As long as his body was weak, he would be able to kill him immediately. This was absolutely frightening. This move of mine is pretty impressive, right? I wouldn't give it to an ordinary person for free. It's a pity that my strength isn't strong enough. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be standing so quietly right now. But it doesn't matter. When the day comes that I become a 6-star war god or a 7-star war god, I'll have a good fight with you guys. Lin Fei laughed loudly. Right, there seems to be a fish that slipped through the net. Lin Fei's gaze turned and fell on Long Tai in the void. Long Tai didn't show himself from beginning to end. But the expressions of the two 8-star war gods instantly changed. Run, Long Tai. He wants to kill you. Long Tai, who was in the void, watched the whole process. His heart was already shaking. The experts of the demonic dragon clan actually couldn't withstand it at this time and were injured instead. How could this person be so strong? It was far different from what he had imagined. Lin Fei's figure disappeared again. But to those people, their hearts were shaking. Oh no, oh no! The war god saw Long Tai through the void. In an instant, He was torn into pieces and turned into a pool of blood. He really couldn't be more dead. I'm really sorry. This person's strength isn't as strong as you, so he died easily. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, your demonic dragon clan has quite a lot of experts. Just train another one. Lin Fei laughed loudly. His honor points skyrocketed once more. Farming honor value in front of these war gods was the best way. At the very least, it made them feel shocked, felt fear, and felt different. In this way, he could get more honor value. You two should leave too. Long Tai's strength isn't as good as others, that's his own business. Don't tell me the two of you are still going to fight? If you dare to fight again, I won't be polite. The figure in red who hadn't spoken until now finally spoke. His eyes were cold. When he looked at Lin Fei, his eyes were full of admiration. That's right, he really admired him. To be able to easily withstand the attacks of two 8-star war gods, no matter what kind of treasure he used, at least his potential was limitless. To be able to injure two of them, he must have grasped some powerful treasure. Long Tai was also a proud son of heaven. He didn't expect to be killed directly. This was no surprise. It could only be said that he had offended someone he shouldn't have. If he died, then he died. The two 8-star war gods of the demonic dragon clan looked at each other, stared at Lin Fei fiercely, turned around and left. From their eyes, it was clear that they had to vent their anger sooner or later. Otherwise, they wouldn't be the demonic dragon clan. I'll wait for you to kill me. I hope that day doesn't take too long. Otherwise, when my strength improves, you'll be the unlucky ones. Ha 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 ha. Many of the war gods were even more shocked. They didn't expect this young man to be so arrogant. They didn't know what the demonic dragon clan would do when they found out. They would probably have a headache. Even two 8-star war gods couldn't handle him. This young man must have a lot of powerful treasures. This kind of person was really hard to deal with. Young man, you've done well. I didn't expect them to suffer such a big loss. I reckon that the demonic dragon clan will soon become a big joke. I wonder if you're interested in going to the Netherworld Palace with me? I believe that the Palace Lord will be very interested in you. The other war gods knew very well that if this young man went to the Nether Palace, things would definitely be different. He might even become a disciple of the Nether Palace. Are there a lot of experts in the Nether Palace? I've always felt lonely. Chapter 48-44. No matter who it was, they would remember this mysterious young man. They didn't expect him to ask so many questions after going to the Nether Palace. It was really rare. Especially since these words sounded especially arrogant. If it wasn't for the terrifying means he had displayed before, people wouldn't have paid attention to him. Now it seemed that this guy was really interesting. He would probably be even more interesting among the younger generation. The experts of the Nether Palace will be more than you can imagine. You will know how powerful the Nether Palace is after you go there. It's not something that ordinary places can compare to. The experts of the Nether Palace admired this young man more and more. He was very bold. The geniuses of the Nether Palace would probably have a rival soon. He was stronger than anyone else. Since you have so many experts here, I will go with you. I have nothing to do anyway. I heard that the Nether Palace is not bad. I hope those geniuses won't be too weak. Currently, Lin Feijin had broken through to the 30th layer of the infinite divine body. The strength of his physical body was unbelievably dense. Just like just now, although he didn't use the power of his physical body, he still erupted with the power of his physical body at the critical moment. This made them feel how terrifying his physical body was. Just like that, Lin Fei left with the expert from the Nether Palace. The other war gods also went back immediately to spread the news. In a short time, the Nether Mountain knew one thing. Another young expert had appeared in the Hades mountain range, and even Long Tai had been easily killed by him. This was the demonic dragon clan. Even the two experts of the demonic dragon clan had been defeated. After the news spread, no one believed it at first. but as time passed, they had to believe it. 1 war god, 2 war gods, 3 war gods all said so. Even the Nether Palace seemed to have heard about it. One could imagine the accuracy of the news. There was nothing but shock. The most surprising thing was that no one knew where this young man came from. It was as if he appeared out of thin air. Now that he was brought to the Nether Palace, it was very likely that he would join and become a disciple of the Nether Palace. It was very likely that he would become a personal disciple of the Nether Palace. At that time, it became even more lively. This news also spread to the righteous side. The first to know would be Dugu Ijin and Dao Ihai. The two of them immediately thought of that young man. After all, they had wanted to stay outside to see what this young man was capable of. They didn't expect him to be taken away by the Nether Palace. As for the news that one person had fought against 2 8-star war gods and had even used a supreme secret technique to injure the two of them, they did not really approve of it. No matter how capable someone was, it was impossible for them to display such a powerful technique. This news had spread a little too far. Did they really treat them as if they didn't know anything? No matter what, he had to let everyone know that such a powerful expert had appeared in the Netherworld Mountain. You're really daring. What's your surname? Let me know who you are. You even dared to kill someone from the demonic dragon clan, and it was Long Tai. Do you know that you've gotten yourself into big trouble? This expert from the Nether Palace was called Nether 13. As for why he was called 13, it was because he was the Palace Lord's adopted son and ranked 13th. There were as many as 40 to 50 foster sons like him. Everyone's strength was basically the same. Nether 13 was very curious about this young man. Of course, he also wanted to know where he came from. He didn't know what kind of expert had come from the demon sections. Especially someone like this. As for secretly grooming them, that was quite difficult. Then there was only one possibility. This person should be a wandering cultivator. Only a wandering cultivator would have this kind of ability and come this far by chance. My name is Yi Xian. I'm just a nameless wandering cultivator. Of course, Lin Fei wouldn't tell them his real name. He might as well make up a name. This was a name he used in the past, and it was quite suitable here. As for the expert that came in with him, he would probably change his name as well. Otherwise, once they knew his name, they would gang up on him, and it would be difficult for him to cultivate. Lin Fei naturally wouldn't make this mistake. Nether 13 frowned slightly. He really hadn't heard of Yi Xian's name. He knew of the Yi clan, but there weren't many experts from the Yi clan in the Netherworld Mountain. There was a rather powerful Yi clan in the righteous sections. The person in front of him shouldn't be from that side. Then it was possible that he was a wandering cultivator. Of course, he couldn't take his words seriously. What if he said it on purpose? But no matter what, at least this person didn't have any enmity towards the demonic sections. This was the best thing. He could feel a lot of killing intent from this person. Who knew how many people he had killed to accumulate it? Even he was slightly shocked. This guy definitely had a big secret. But if he didn't want to say it, he wouldn't pursue it. He only needed to know that there was a powerful expert in the Netherworld Mountain. This realm was completely different from the 1 or 2-star war gods that he usually saw. It was very likely that he was a powerful guy. You don't have to think about my background. I don't have a bad impression of the demonic sections. Instead, I plan to settle down here. As for the demonic dragon clan, I don't think they would dare to make a move openly. After all, the Nether Palace is the strongest in the Netherworld Mountain. The demonic dragon clan is nothing. Lin Fei laughed. Nether 13 agreed with this statement. If the Nether Palace said they were second in the Netherworld Mountain, no one would dare to say they were first. Even though the demonic dragon clan was very strong, they still had to stand aside. No matter what, you will only have the highest chance of survival if you join the Nether Palace. Otherwise, the experts of the demonic dragon clan will definitely chase you to the ends of the earth. Nether 13 was very clear about the temperament of the demonic dragon clan. After killing Long Tai, another prodigy, and seemingly robbing something, one shouldn't blame the demonic dragon clan for chasing him to the end. He had seen this kind of thing many times. It wasn't a big deal for the demonic dragon clan to chase and kill people in the Netherworld Mountain. It could be said to be a common occurrence. Therefore, no one was willing to offend the demonic dragon clan. This kid was a weirdo. It's fine. If they really come, I don't mind killing a few demonic dragons. To be honest, I haven't eaten a demonic dragon before. I don't know how it tastes. It should be very beneficial to my body, don't you think? Chapter 48-45. The news spread very quickly, so quickly that all the forces in Hades Mountain were a little surprised. They didn't expect that another expert with great potential would be born unknowingly. Such an expert was definitely worth paying attention to in Hades Mountain. If anyone could rope him in, he would definitely be a great fighting force. Unfortunately, Hades' palace was one step ahead of them. After he was taken away, there was basically no possibility of pulling him into their camp. Therefore, they would always bring back talented disciples at the first instance. This time, they really miscalculated. Actually, they didn't expect that young man to be so strong. To be able to survive after being attacked by the demonic dragon race, especially that demonic dragon radiance, was definitely a very ferocious existence. But now, this guy actually killed an expert of the demonic dragon race, Long Tai. It was definitely quite shocking. Everyone was waiting to see how the demonic dragon race would get back at them. At the very least, it wouldn't be easy to deal with this young man. Didn't they see that the experts of Hades' palace brought him back? It was very likely that they would keep him in Hades' palace. The two experts on the demonic dragon race's side also returned to their base camp at the first instance. They also received the news on their side. After all, the demonic dragon race was still very influential. The news came very quickly. They were a little dumbfounded. Long Tai was dead, and even the two experts returned without accomplishing anything. This made the higher-ups feel a little uneasy. What's going on? Can anyone tell me what's going on? You two are 8-star war gods after all. How could you not be able to handle a stinking brat? Something like this actually happened to the demonic dragon race. We've lost all our faith in Hades Mountain. That brat was even taken away by you 13. The higher-ups of the demonic dragon race all came. They were all experts and all of them were war gods. At this time, they felt a little embarrassed. This kind of situation rarely happened. Who asked that such a powerful expert to appear over there? Until now, they still didn't know where that brat came from. But Long Tai was killed. This was still quite troublesome for the demonic dragon race. If they didn't handle this matter well, it would affect their race greatly. Most importantly, that item had always been with Long Tai. Now that Long Tai had been killed, didn't that mean that the item had fallen into that young man's hands? That was the most worrisome thing to them. We didn't expect that kid to be so powerful. If we had known earlier, we would have struck him with lightning speed. That's right, we used the Devil Dragon's light, but we still couldn't kill that brat. This guy has a powerful defensive treasure, and he also knows a powerful killer move. We were injured because we didn't take him seriously. The two 8-star war gods felt rather helpless at this moment. This was the first time they had encountered such a situation. If they knew about it, they wouldn't have suffered such a big loss. Now, the Demon Dragon clan had really become a big joke. After that kid was taken away, it was highly likely that he would become a disciple of the Nether Palace, and his status would rise. It would not be so easy for them to make a move again. At the very least, he was a man. The patriarch of the Demon Dragon clan, who was dressed in black armor, stood there quietly. No one was more anxious than him. Such an accident had occurred, it was really unexpected. Now that the matter is out, we need to find a solution. Contact the Nether Palace immediately. We must stop that kid from joining the Nether Palace at all costs. Otherwise, it will be even more troublesome to deal with him. The patriarch of the demonic dragon clan knew how serious this matter was. If that kid joined the Nether Palace, they would definitely not be able to kill him. At the very least, they wouldn't dare to do it openly. Once he died, the Nether Palace would definitely target them. When that time came, it would be impossible for them to not bleed. Patriarch, if we do that, wouldn't it be a little wasteful? After all, that kid hasn't reached the point where he needs to use a chess piece. The patriarch's eyes turned cold as he looked over. Are you guys going to kill him directly? Even if I gave you 100 guts, you wouldn't dare to kill your way into the Nether Palace. Since you don't dare to go in, you can only ask him to leave. Since the patriarch had already said so, no one dared to think too much. Who didn't know the patriarch's explosive temper? It would be very normal for him to beat them up. Therefore, they immediately followed the patriarch's instructions. They could only hope that the kid wouldn't join the Nether Palace. That way, they would be more confident in taking care of that kid. Of course, the possibility of that was very low. After all, that kid was mysterious and unpredictable. Even 2 8-star war gods suffered a loss against him. Lin Fei followed Yushur San to the Nether Palace. The Netherworld Palace was built on top of a huge mountain. The mountain was very big, majestic, and imposing. This surprised Lin Fei a little. This is our Netherworld Palace, and this is the Netherworld Mountain. It's a special mountain, a supreme treasure. With this treasure, even the top experts of the righteous path in the Netherworld mountain range wouldn't have the ability to act presumptuously here. Yushur San said proudly. Just now, Lin Fei had already noticed this mountain. It was indeed different from what he had imagined. It was filled with a dangerous and terrifying aura. This shocked him. He didn't expect it to be a supreme treasure. He had been wondering why the righteous experts couldn't make their way in. It wasn't just because there was a top-notch war god. It probably had something to do with the Nether Mountain. Then I'm getting more and more interested in joining the Nether Palace. I hope you won't disappoint me. I hope to meet some powerful experts. That way I can improve even faster. Lin Fei's gaze became extremely determined. Of course, all of this was seen by Yushur San. He also felt that this guy was a martial arts fanatic. He didn't expect him to be so obsessed with improving his strength. This was good too. Their Nether Palace hadn't been so lively in a long time. He believed that with this young man joining them, those geniuses would all feel immense pressure. He wouldn't be as lazy and impulsive as usual. Don't worry. You will definitely be interested in the Nether Palace. The experts here aren't as simple as you think. Otherwise, how could the Nether Palace control the huge Nether Mountain range? It has been passed down from generation to generation. It is the strongest force. Chapter 48-46. While the news was spreading like wildfire outside, the Nether Palace was the same. Especially those favored by the heavens, who had also received the news. Because a powerful expert with great potential appeared in the land of divinity and demons. He defeated Dugu Ijian and Dao Ihai's disciples. Even Long Tai of the Demon Dragon clan was killed. This was quite a powerful move. He even used a supreme secret technique to injure 2 great experts of the Demon Dragon clan. This wasn't a small matter. Most importantly, this young man actually came to the Nether Palace. He was brought here by Nether 13. If there were no accidents, it was highly likely that he would join the Nether Palace and become fellow disciples. Of course, to them, such an expert with great potential didn't make them happy. This would affect their resources to a certain extent. That kid is coming soon. What do you think we should do? Should we go and take a look? Yes, we must go. Otherwise, we won't even know what that kid looks like. He has such a powerful background. If we don't teach him a lesson, who knows how powerful we will be. Yes, we must go. I heard that the kid has come to our Nether Palace. Many people are probably going there. If we don't go now, we'll be late. Don't forget, to join the Nether Palace, you have to pass the test of us proud sons of heaven. Without our permission, you can't join. Many people reacted. That's right. Joining the Nether Palace wasn't as easy as they thought. Instead, it was very dangerous. One had to obtain the approval of the proud sons of heaven. This was one of the specialties of the Nether Palace. Such scenes kept happening in different places of the Nether Palace. One by one, the figures went to the Great Hall of the Netherworld. Lin Fei also went to the palace under Nether 13th's lead. During this period of time, he had also noticed quite a number of experts and geniuses. Their gazes weren't friendly. Lin Fei naturally knew what was going on. They all received the news. They treated him as a powerful enemy. Lin Fei wasn't surprised at all. Instead, he sensed many powerful auras in the Nether Palace. These powerful auras were basically all at the war god level. Of course, there were also some faintly discernible existences among them that were extremely powerful. Even if the two 8-star war gods of the Devil Dragon clan were here, their auras would be far inferior compared to the auras emitted by the Demon Dragon clan. These fellows must have accumulated a lot of resources, so they couldn't be underestimated. The main hall of the Netherworld Palace is right in front of us. I'm afraid there will be many geniuses coming. You have to be prepared, because there's still a trial you have to pass if you want to join the Netherworld Palace, and that is to obtain the recognition of the geniuses' teachers. U13 said. Lin Fei laughed and raised his fist. You're talking about this fist, right? If it's this fist, then it's naturally not a problem. I'm not good at other things, but my fist is very hard. Lin Fei didn't know much about the Netherworld Palace. If he used his fists to settle the matter, he would feel quite happy. After all, he needed to grind for honor points. If he didn't suppress these geniuses, how would he be able to grind for honor points? Of course, he could also gain some hatred along the way. That was pretty good. Lin Fei was quite satisfied with this method. At the very least, he didn't make this trip for nothing. U13 was really looking forward to it. After all, these geniuses were all quite arrogant. They should have gathered there by now, and the scene should be quite lively. Just like that, they arrived at the Netherworld Palace one after another. This was the largest place in the Netherworld Palace. When they arrived, there were already many geniuses gathered here. Without a certain level of strength, one wouldn't be qualified to come here. Gazes fell on Lin Fei. These gazes were very unfriendly, as though they wanted to punch a hole through Lin Fei. Elder 13, I didn't expect you to return so quickly. This should be the great expert from the land of divinity and demons. An elder flew over and said to U13. He's that expert. His name is Yi Xian. U13 said. Of course, everyone present heard his voice. They had always been curious about this person's name. They didn't expect this person to be called Yi Xian. However, this name was very unfamiliar. They had never heard of him. Could he be a family disciple from outside? Or was he a loose cultivator? It seemed more likely that he was a loose cultivator. If he was from a family, they would have recognized him immediately. Why would they wait until now to figure it out? He's very interested in our Netherworld Palace. That's why I brought him here. After all, our Netherworld Palace needs some fresh blood. I think Yi Xian is a fresh blood, U13 said with a smile. He was quite optimistic about this Yi Xian. After all, Yi Xian's presence here would definitely make these geniuses feel pressured and cultivate better. No matter whether they remembered who Yi Xian was or not, Yi Xian did make them a little unhappy at the moment. Especially Elder U13's acknowledgement. They could see it clearly. This Yi Xian really had to suppress his abilities. At the very least, their Netherworld Palace wasn't a place that anyone could easily join. Which one of them didn't put in a lot of effort to join the Netherworld Palace? I'm quite interested in the Netherworld Palace. That's why I came to take a look. Now that I'm here, I'm sure I didn't come to the wrong place. There are quite a number of experts here. I heard that if you want to join the Netherworld Palace, you have to obtain the acknowledgement of the geniuses. Lin Fei said with a smile. The geniuses present also looked over. They were too unfamiliar with this Yi Xian. However, his words were quite interesting. It was obvious that he wanted to have a good fight with them. This was the first time that they had encountered something like this. One had to know that all the geniuses who had come here had felt pressured when they encountered them. It was absolutely rare to see someone like Yi Xian say this. If they didn't teach such a person a good lesson, they wouldn't be able to keep their faces. If it's just the few of you, I think it's better for all of you to come at me together. Let me see what you're capable of. Elder, don't you think this will be a problem? Lin Fei smiled faintly. The expression of the elder who came over also changed slightly. What a good Yi Xian. He was quite daring. He actually did not take these geniuses seriously. It seemed like Elder Yu Shi-san had indeed brought back a powerful heavenly talent. Chapter 48-47. The geniuses present all had a temper. They didn't expect this Yi Xian to be so daring. He actually wanted all of them to fight him at once. Who did he think he was? Did he really think that just because he made a name for himself in the land of divinity and demons, he could look down on them? Yi Xian, you think too highly of yourself. I can beat someone like you to the ground by myself. Leave all of you to me. That's right. I can make you unable to move with just one finger. I can kill as many as you come at me. People these days are getting more and more shameless. You don't have any strength, but you still dare to act like a big shot in front of us. Elder, let me do it. I'll have a good fight with him first. Many geniuses stood up one by one. They planned to teach Yi Xian a good lesson first. It wasn't that easy to join the Nether Palace. These geniuses wouldn't agree to it. Behind them, there were also many geniuses who emerged one after another. These were the more influential ones. They didn't make a move at this time. In any case, they wanted to observe the situation first. U13 and the other elder looked at each other. They hadn't seen such a situation before. Of course, such a situation wasn't unheard of. However, this Yi Xian was a little different from what they had imagined. He had quite a temper. He actually wanted to challenge all these geniuses on his own. Unless he had extraordinary strength, there was something wrong with his brain. The rules of the Nether Palace aren't strict. You can challenge them on your own, and they can challenge you on their own, U13 said. The other elder also nodded, agreeing with this statement. Such a situation wasn't common. Of course, it wasn't unheard of. It was just that someone like Yi Xian, offending all these geniuses on his first try, was absolutely unheard of. It was extremely rare. Lin Fei laughed heartily. Since I'm here to join the Nether Palace, I'll definitely have to fight with these geniuses. However, these geniuses are too weak. They're far from being able to fight me one by one. I'll take on all of you on my own. Oh right, I wonder what happens if there's too much force here and I get killed? His words caused the expressions of U13 and the other elder to change slightly. This was a test, not a place to kill people. Even those people weren't a match for them. If they were to really fight, they would probably be wiped out completely. We, the disciples of the Netherworld Palace, are not afraid of death. If you can kill us, then it means that we are inferior to you. If we kill you, then it means that you are inferior to us. There's nothing more to say. That's right. If you want to kill us, then go ahead. It's not like we haven't killed before. It's not like we haven't killed before. It doesn't matter if we have one more heaven's favored one. Come on, we're all prepared. These geniuses all had quite a temper. They had never seen someone like him, challenging a group of people as soon as he came up, and it seemed like he was going to kill them all. U13 also shook his head slightly. This Yi Xian was indeed quite daring. If he was killed by these geniuses when he was not careful, he would really become a joke. In the Netherworld Palace, there has never been a restriction on life and death. If you die, then it means that you are not strong enough. If you are alive, then you can say that you are strong. It was not easy for Lin Fei to come here. Naturally, he wanted to earn some honor points. If he did not earn enough honor points, he would be embarrassed. Of course, it did not matter if he did not earn enough honor points. Since the elder said that it's fine, then I'll make my move. I hope that you guys can withstand my attack. Yi Xian laughed out loud. Whoosh. He charged directly at the nearest heaven's favored one. This heaven's favored one's body instantly shone brightly. A fist directly pierced through his body, followed by an explosion of blood. Everyone's pupils shrank slightly. Only a few people could see clearly. The light did not manage to block the attack. This Yi Xian was directly killed by a single punch. Too weak, too weak. With this kind of strength, I alone can beat all of you to death. Right now, Lin Fei's physical body was extremely strong. Coupled with his speed, it was not something that these heaven's favored ones could withstand. Everywhere he passed, the heaven's favored one was instantly killed. U13 and the other elder looked at each other again. Their hearts clenched. This situation seemed to have exceeded their expectations. These heaven's favored ones could not withstand a single blow. His strength was too strong. They could clearly feel that this Yi Xian fellow was using pure physical strength. In other words, he did not need to use any other strength. He could kill these heaven's favored ones with one punch. They were shocked and a little in disbelief. There were indeed people who cultivated the Tao of body refinement, but not many. But people like Yi Xian were really rare. 10 heavens favored ones. 20 heavens favored ones. 30 heavens favored ones. In the blink of an eye. With the strength to kill 50 heavens favored ones, they ranged from 2-star war gods to 5-star war gods. Alright, that's enough. The heavens favored ones of the Netherworld Palace will not be killed so wantonly. A ray of light directly flew over. A long river spread out, directly blocking the remaining heavens favored ones. Those heavens favored ones who were lucky enough to survive heaved a long sigh of relief, but their faces were still very pale. It had never occurred to him that this young man, Yi Xian, would be so powerful. His physical strength was so strong that he could break through his defense and flesh with just one punch. Then, he vanished into thin air. That's great, that's great. It's the Milky Way Prince. Someone recognized this ray of light. It was the Milky Way Prince. His forte was the Milky Way Prince. Once the Milky Way was unleashed, not only could it be used as an attack, but it could also be used as a defense. Lin Fei was indeed blocked by this Milky Way. He could also feel that this Milky Way was different. This Milky Way instantly transformed into a ray of saber light that swept over. Lin Fei blocked with both hands. With a loud rumble, all the power of this Milky Way pierced through. This move was indeed very strong, very domineering. It was a direct destructive force. If one could not withstand it, they would be reduced to ashes. Lin Fei finally knew that an expert had arrived. This Milky Way Prince was definitely one of the stronger heavens favored ones. At the very least, he was at the peak of an intermediate war god. In fact, the Milky Way Prince was indeed a 6-star war god. This level was not low. He was only one step away from advanced war god. A figure in white walked out just like that. Chapter 48-48. The white figure was the famous Milky Way Prince of the Nether Palace. There was a Milky Way. This Milky Way was not only good for offense, but also for defense. Therefore, no one in the same realm could break through the Milky Way. And this Milky Way was an unparalleled treasure. It was said that at its peak, it could reach the level of a 9-stars war god. It was very terrifying. But Milky Way did not unleash the full power of these treasures. When Milky Way came out, the other geniuses heaved a sigh of relief and expressed their gratitude. Without Milky Way, they would have been killed by Yi Xian. They never thought that Yi Xian would be so domineering, so cruel, and so powerful. It had an extremely strong penetrative ability, and as soon as they clashed, it would directly break through their physical defensive treasures, killing them on the spot. Such an enemy was indeed very terrifying. If they had not seen those geniuses being killed with their own eyes, they would not have believed it. Previously, they had been talking about suppressing Yi Xian, but in the end, Yi Xian had defeated them as soon as he attacked. It was too terrifying. Their hearts were filled with nightmares. They could not afford to offend such a person. Fortunately, Milky Way finally showed up. They were the 4 young masters of the Nether Palace. You're very overbearing. I didn't expect you to treat the proud sons of heaven like punching bags. Have you ever considered that they are disciples of the Netherworld Palace, a part of the demonic path? If you kill them like this, won't you disintegrate the strength of our demonic path? I might even suspect that you're a spy sent by the righteous path. Milky Way said coldly. He was a pale scholar. When he said that, everyone's expression changed slightly. Yes. This guy was too cruel. There had never been such a cruel guy who killed 50 geniuses in such a short time. 50. That was equivalent to losing 50 war gods. Everyone could not take it anymore. If you killed the righteous path disciples, that would be normal. But now you killed the devil path disciples. You lost 50 war gods. If this was outside, it would definitely be a huge loss. The righteous path would definitely applaud when they heard this. Losing one meant losing a portion of their strength. Now they had lost 50 of their strength. The expressions of Elder U13 and the other elder changed as well. Indeed, things had gone a little too far, beyond their expectations. In such a short period of time, 50 proud sons of heaven were killed just like that. They simply couldn't stop it at all. These people's strength was too weak. One punch from each of them was enough to turn them into sandbags. Lin Fei burst into laughter. Now you have the nerve to say I'm a spy from the righteous path? I suspect you're the spy from the righteous path. With their strength, they have the nerve to say they're disciples of the devil path? Today I didn't kill them. Even if they go outside, they'll still be killed. Rather than dying in the hands of outsiders, it's better to die here. It's much simpler. Whoosh! The silver river circled over and transformed into a huge storm, turning into attacks that filled the sky. How dare you! There's no room for you to speak here. Die! This storm was very terrifying. It turned into many blade lights that covered the sky and covered the earth. There were more than 1,000 attacks. In the time it took for them to meet face to face, it was enough to kill any war god. However, such attacks were not a threat to Lin Fei. His physical body was very strong, and he punched out again and again. These Silver River attacks were not a threat at all. Even when they landed on Lin Fei's body, they only left white marks. This Silver River fell behind young Master He and stood in the air. Why did you stop attacking? Continue. I heard that your background is not small. Let me see how powerful your Silver River is. You stopped in the blink of an eye? Or is it because you've consumed too much energy? Lin Fei laughed. No one could see more clearly than him that controlling the Silver River consumed a lot of energy. The Milky Way Prince had already unleashed his ultimate move. Not everyone could withstand it. Only someone with a strong body could withstand it. Young Master He was indeed very afraid. His big move was already very powerful. It was one of the few big moves. He never expected that this guy could withstand it. This was not good for the situation. Young Master He, I didn't expect you to be defeated. Let me use invincible earth fire on this guy. Whoosh! Flames surged up from the ground. They engulfed Lin Fei like a huge fireball. Everyone was shocked. They finally recognized who it was. It was one of the 4 great young masters of the Netherworld Palace. Purple Flame Prince. After the sky full of flames rushed over, the intense heat directly burned the void. Even the Milky Way Prince He's Milky Way blocked in front of him to protect him. A purple figure walked out just like that. Many people recognized him as the Purple Flame Prince. This Purple Flame Prince was also one of the 4 great young masters of the Netherworld Palace. He was at the same level as young Master He. He was also a 6-star war god and had reached the peak of his strength. He could become a 7-star war god anytime, anywhere. He could be considered an advanced war god. However, this level was too difficult. Under the flames, no one thought that this person could come out alive. After all, this was a top-grade fire. It could burn experts into nothingness with one move. This fire was also very powerful. It was called the burning heaven flame. This type of flame was very domineering and invincible. Everyone was filled with anticipation when they saw it. If young master he couldn't catch you, then the purple flame prince would most likely kill you. You 13 and the other elder didn't move. They just stood there without moving. Layers of defense appeared around his body. The two did not expect 2 of the 4 great young masters to come. This purple flame prince was also very powerful. This burning heaven flame was also very terrifying. I wonder if this Yi Xian can withstand it. If he can't, he will become a big joke. 2 of the 4 great young masters are here. I don't think this Yi Xian is that easy to kill. Otherwise, he wouldn't have swaggered over. I'm afraid the Netherworld Palace has gained another powerful expert this time. It's a pity that 50 geniuses have died. If what Yi Xian had demonstrated was his terrifying strength, then he alone would be equivalent to 50 geniuses. Chapter 48-49. The burning heaven flame was indeed terrifying. As it burned fiercely, even the geniuses present were secretly excited. No matter how proud this Yi Xian guy was, could he withstand the might of the burning heaven flame? That was just wishful thinking. Even if it was them, they would be burned into nothingness in an instant. The purple flame young master also came to the side of young master He. He smiled faintly, looking very pleased with himself. Look, my burning heaven flame is still more powerful. Your silver river is much weaker. Unless you have trained it to the highest level, you are still far from being able to compete with me. Young Master He's face turned cold. Your burning heaven flame is not that powerful. Don't forget, this guy is quite mysterious. Even my silver river can't do anything to him, let alone your burning heaven flame. The purple flame young master looked at the burning flame. Under this flame, Yi Xian would not be able to withstand it no matter how powerful he was. Therefore, all he had to do was to stand there quietly. In the blink of an eye, the burning heaven flame gradually dissipated. It turned into a ball and returned to the purple flame young master's hand. However, as soon as the burning heaven flame disappeared, a figure appeared in its original place. Who else could it be other than Yi Xian? He just stood there quietly. The surrounding people were all shocked. That was the famous sky-burning flame, yet it still couldn't kill Yi Xian. Who on earth was this guy? It's over, it's over. This guy is too mysterious. How is it possible for him to withstand the attack of the burning heaven flame? Could it be that his body is really that strong? Even young master he couldn't do it, and now young master purple flame doesn't seem to be able to either. This is really bad. The surrounding people were even more afraid of Yi Xian. Lin Fei just looked at the purple flame young master quietly. His burning heaven flame was indeed very terrifying. Your flame is indeed quite domineering, but it's still not enough to deal with me. I wonder if you are disappointed. I heard that the Netherworld Palace has 4 great young masters. I've finally met 2 of the Milky Way purple flame. I wonder where the other 2 are. How would Lin Fei know about the Netherworld Palace's 4 great young masters? It was just a rumor that he was powerful enough. Now, there was another purple flame prince. He was indeed terrifying, possessing a powerful flame. Not everyone could withstand it. A slight frown appeared on the violet flame prince's brows. This fellow had indeed surprised him. His heaven-incinerating flames was actually unable to do anything to him. Although the burning heaven field flames he had just used was only the most basic attack, its power was not to be underestimated. I really underestimated you. No wonder he couldn't do anything to you. However, I'm not he. My heaven-burning flame is more terrifying than you can imagine. The burning heaven flame flew out again and turned into a long dragon that directly attacked. The power of this long dragon made everyone's heart tremble. The burning heaven flame that this guy condensed actually reached the might of a 7-star war god. Not only were the geniuses shocked, but even the other elders were shocked. The commotion just now had attracted quite a number of elders. All of them had gathered nearby. They were all war god level powerhouses, so they could clearly see the situation in front of them. Be it he or the purple flame young master, both of them seemed to be inferior to him. Moreover, this Yi Xian fellow was indeed extremely terrifying and powerful. Compared to this, the death of the 50 heavens chosen before was really nothing. Those who died weren't geniuses. Those who were alive were the strongest geniuses. They understood this better than anyone else. 13th Elder, you brought back a pretty good seed with potential this time. He's comparable to the 4 great young masters. That's good too. I'm afraid that our Netherworld Palace will have 5 great young masters soon. It's a pity that the other 2 young masters aren't here. Otherwise, the 4 great young masters would really be here. The 4 great young masters were the strongest in the Netherworld Palace. Each of them was a true genius who could become an advanced war god in the future. Therefore, the elders had high expectations for them. They didn't expect another Yi Xian to come. His strength really made people feel different. The 2 great young masters were helpless unless they joined forces. However, the 4 great young masters were prideful. Naturally, they wouldn't join forces. And now, the Violet Flame Princess suddenly unleashed a powerful attack. The heaven-burning dragon was indeed very powerful. It was very powerful in every aspect. A layer of defense appeared in front of Lin Fei, but he didn't attack. Everyone could feel that Yi Xian's defense was very strong. No wonder he could withstand the attack of the heaven-burning flame. The heaven-burning dragon attacked for a while, but it didn't work. The Violet Flame Prince retracted his attack. No one knew better than him that Yi Xian's defense was indeed strong. His flames couldn't penetrate it at all, let alone affect Yi Xian's physical body. Yi Xian was indeed capable. The Violet Flame Prince retracted the heaven-burning flame with a wave of his hand. He took a deep breath. He looked at the young man in front of him indifferently. You are indeed quite powerful. You are qualified to become a disciple of the Netherworld Palace. At least I have nothing to say. However, we will definitely have a good fight next time. This time, it wasn't fun at all. The Violet Flame Prince snorted coldly and turned to leave. The Milky Way young master took a look and followed. At the very least, Yi Xian was quite strong. The 2 of them left one after another. The remaining geniuses naturally didn't have any objections. Even the 2 great young masters had agreed, let alone the other 2. Congratulations, Junior Yi Xian. You are now a disciple of the Netherworld Palace, and a true direct disciple at that. In the Netherworld Palace, only direct disciples can establish their own mountain. Nether 13 came over to congratulate him. His face was also radiant. He was still very optimistic about Yi Xian. His future strength would definitely be very terrifying. Soon, the Netherworld Palace would have 5 great young masters. Lin Fei originally thought that he would have to meet the Palace Lord of the Netherworld Palace, but he only found out from Nether 13 that the Palace Lord had gone into seclusion. As for when he would come out, no one knew. Lin Fei didn't really care about this. He came here to earn honor points, and this trip had indeed earned him a lot of honor points. Junior Yi Xian, since you have become a direct disciple of the Netherworld Palace, you are qualified to receive a reward from the Netherworld Palace. What do you want? Nether 13 came over. Chapter 4850. Lin Fei was very satisfied that he could get a reward at a time like this. After all, the Nether Palace was different from other demonic factions. It was a top-notch existence. At the very least, no demonic faction in the great world of the gods could compare to the Nether Palace. Naturally, the reward would be different. Anything is fine? I don't really care for ordinary things. Lin Fei was very direct. He knew better than anyone else that there was nothing more suitable than being straightforward in a demonic sect. U13 liked Yi Xian's character. The things that the Nether Palace has are definitely not comparable to the outside world. As long as you ask, we can get it for you. Not every disciple can get a chance like this. Only direct disciples have it. U13 had the confidence to say this. I want the power of faith. I wonder if the Nether Palace has it? I heard that some people like to collect the power of faith. I heard that they can use it to become a god. Lin Fei had more or less heard about it. He wanted to see if the Nether Palace had it. It would be great if they did. U13's expression changed slightly as he looked at Yi Xian from head to toe. I didn't expect you to know about the power of faith. There is indeed such a thing, but it's of little value. That's because those who rely on the power of faith to become a god aren't even as strong as the war gods of the same level. Therefore, this method hasn't been used for a long time. Lin Fei's expression did not change. He knew that he had asked the right question this time. He didn't expect the Nether Palace to have such power of faith. Since the Nether Palace had it, didn't that mean that the righteous sects also had it? Lin Fei suddenly had an idea. It seemed like he had made the right decision to come to the great world of the god. I'm only interested in this. I hope to get some power of faith. As for the other things, I really don't care. U13 was indeed quite surprised. He didn't expect this junior brother to be interested in the power of faith. Could it be that he cultivated some special technique? But no matter what, since he had asked, he definitely wanted the power of faith. Wait here for a moment. I'll help you get the power of faith. As for how much there is, I can't guarantee. U13 left first. Lin Fei was not in a hurry. As long as he had the power of faith, that would be enough. When U13 returned, he really brought the power of faith with him. However, the power of faith couldn't compare to the faith orbs of the land of divinity and demons. Lin Fei estimated that there wasn't much power of faith left. However, he could still earn a lot of honor points. Now that you've received your reward, I'll take you to a random mountain peak. From now on, you'll cultivate in that mountain peak. A direct disciple like you needs more resources, so the sect will give you some training missions. U13 brought Lin Fei to choose a mountain peak. There were indeed many mountains in the Nether Palace. Some of these mountains were owned by someone, and some were ownerless. However, every single one of these mountains was enveloped by a formation, and it was extremely extraordinary. After understanding it, Lin Fei also knew that these mountain peaks had been brought back from the outside world and had been blessed with a certain array formation. Of course, they were also blessed with certain special abilities. Therefore, these would be of great help when cultivating in the mountain. It was also the place that the disciples of the Nether Palace yearned for the most. Only direct disciples had the right to live in such a mountain peak. Others had no right at all. Lin Fei found a mountain peak without a hitch. The news of the new disciple in the Netherworld Palace spread like wildfire. Everyone was shocked. They were even more fearful of this Yi Xian. Even the Milky Way Prince and the Violet Flame Prince couldn't do anything to him. Although he didn't go all out, his strength was at least on par with them. Such a person coming to the Nether Palace added a lot of pressure to everyone. Things are getting difficult now. This guy has become a disciple of the Nether Palace just like that. Even the Milky Way Prince and the Violet Flame Prince can't do anything to him. In a secret room, a few people were sitting together. These people were the geniuses of the Nether Palace. Their leader was a 6-star war god who had reached the peak. What should we do next? Yi Xian has already joined the Nether Palace and is a direct disciple. He has already opened a mountain peak. It'll be even more difficult to deal with him. These people were all from the same faction. Naturally, they didn't want someone like Yi Xian to come in. Coming in was equivalent to taking away the original resources. It's not difficult to deal with Yi Xian. In my opinion, since we can't do anything, let the righteous ones do it. I believe they won't be happy to see a 5th young master. Everyone's eyes lit up. That's true. If they couldn't do it, then let the righteous ones do it. There was nothing more suitable than this. Lin Fei chose a remote mountain peak. To him, a lively mountain peak was meaningless. It was better to choose a quiet one. This place was even quieter than before. This time, it was even quieter. Everyone knew that Yi Xian's strength was unfathomable. He was probably at the level of a 6-star war god. It all depended on who would break through to the level of a 7-star war god and become an advanced war god. However, this was a difficult hurdle. Now that I've become a direct disciple of the Nether Palace, I've received quite a lot of rewards. Just the power of faith alone is quite a lot. However, it's not enough. I need to obtain more power of faith. Lin Fei believed that the Nether Palace still had some power of faith. He hadn't obtained all of it yet. He didn't believe that anyone else would use it. After a short rest, Lin Fei went to the Nether Palace's library. There was a lot of information here. He was prepared to understand the great world of God. Although Lin Fei had read a lot before, it wasn't as detailed as now. It would be a pity if he didn't understand the great world of gods now. Lin Fei stayed in the library for half a month. He didn't step out. The people from the Nether Palace weren't surprised at all. Those elders were a little curious. They did not know why this newcomer, Yi Xian, was always in the library. Could it be that he was preparing to do something big again? Half a month had passed. By now, Lin Fei had a better understanding of the great world of gods. Lin Fei thought that the great world of gods was just like this. He didn't expect it to be more mysterious than he imagined. Chapter 48-51. Lin Fei had indeed underestimated the great world of the gods. He had always thought that the great world of the gods was only this big. After reading through the information, he more or less understood one thing. The great world of the gods was not as simple as he had imagined. It was extremely mysterious. The great world of the gods had a total of 9 great worlds. Right now, it was only in the first major world. That was the most mysterious thing. If he had not seen some clues from the information, Lin Fei would never have imagined that the great world of the gods had 9 great worlds. And this was only the first one. There were already so many war god level experts in the first world. He finally understood that this mission was not as easy as he had imagined. It was extremely difficult. The strongest in this world were the 5-peak war god. As for the next world, it was unknown. Too careless. Really too careless. If he had known that this would be the case, Lin Fei would not have come. Now, he had really stepped into a trap. At the very least, he would have to stay here for 500 years. Most importantly, he did not say if this world was unified or if there were 9 great worlds. After reading the information, Lin Fei could only say that he was too careless. He could only think about other things. That was how to obtain more faith points. Lin Fei also knew that this infinite god body was very useful. There were no bottlenecks, and he could continue to cultivate and become stronger. What Lin Fei needed to do was to obtain more faith points. He had more or less found out from Nether 13 that there were many different gods in the great world of the god. These gods all relied on faith to become god. This was the so-called power of faith to become a war god. However, the strength of war gods like them was only so. Therefore, Lin Fei was prepared to kill these war gods and obtain their faith power. That way, he would be able to cultivate the infinite god body even faster. He had only reached the 30th level. If he reached the 40th or 50th level, his fleshly body would definitely be even stronger. Then, he would be able to integrate the power of this level much faster. Junior brother, are you there? Junior brother, are you there? Lin Fei's side had yet to make a move, but soon, Nether 13 came over. Ever since Lin Fei stayed in the library for half a month, he had been here a few times. Today, he had finally waited for Lin Fei to come out. As soon as he came out, he decisively came over. There were many things he wanted to explain. Elder, there's something. Lin Fei had a pretty good impression of Elder Yushir-san. At the very least, He had gained a lot of benefits after joining the Netherworld Palace. Therefore, the moment Elder Yushir-san arrived, Lin Fei asked directly. You seem to be quite interested in the power of faith, so I've helped you get a few missions. You can go and do them. U-13 smiled. I see that you're quite interested in the power of faith. Lin Fei was slightly taken aback. Nether 13 brought over a mission scroll. These mission scrolls were all about killing the god of faith. In other words, they were the so-called alternative gods. These fellows are all aborigines without much combat power. I see that you are quite interested in the power of faith, so you can go and kill them. You will have completed your contribution. However, you have to be careful. Most of these alternative gods have the support of the Orthodox sects. Even though Lin Fei didn't know why Nether 13 would find these missions for him, he had to admit that even if he didn't go, he would still go and kill these alternative gods, snatch their power of faith. It could be said that he had done this for him again. Thank you, Elder 13. I had intended to take on these missions anyway. I want to go out and see the Orthodox sects, Lin Fei said. Nether 13 seemed to have thought of something and added. When you are outside, you must listen carefully. They say that the Orthodox sects have a blacklist, and you are already on it. Therefore, if they don't look for Orthodox sects, they will come to kill you. Blacklist. Lin Fei was slightly taken aback. That was fast. He had just joined the Nether Palace, and he was already on the blacklist. Could it be that the blacklist was a must-kill list? The righteous side has a blacklist specifically for some of the proud sons of heaven. Anyone who is blacklisted will be hunted down and killed. If you kill them, you will get a great reward. So you have to be careful. Now you are also on the blacklist. Nether 13 was not surprised by this news at all. Lin Fei was a little surprised. Since he was on the blacklist, it seemed like the Nether Palace also had people on their side. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been on the blacklist so quickly. Blacklist is good. I have never been on a blacklist in my entire life. Since the Orthodox sects have put me on the blacklist, I will take the opportunity to meet these Orthodox sects and kill some of them. Nether 13 laughed out loud. This was the Yi Xian in his eyes. You can kill them, but don't cause too much of a ruckus. Otherwise, it will be difficult to deal with those advanced war gods. There was still a huge difference between an intermediate war god and an advanced war god. As long as an advanced war god made a move, basically no one could withstand it. Even Lin Fei didn't have the ability to withstand a war god's attack. This was something that Nether 13 was worried about. He more or less understood this guy's personality. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I can kill Orthodox sects, but my life is more important. I don't want to be chased by advanced war gods. The great world of the gods was huge. Therefore, Lin Fei wanted to go out and experience it. Previously, he was only in a small place. Now, he could finally roam the entire great world of the god. Lin Fei received the mission and silently appeared in the Nether Mountain range. Then, with a few teleportations, he exited the Hades mountain and arrived outside. This was the benefit of the great teleportation technique. He could leave without anyone noticing. How did you guys follow him? How did he disappear so quickly? Did he use a spatial treasure? Damn it. After Lin Fei used great teleportation to leave, there were many figures outside the Nether Palace. All of them were dumbfounded. They clearly didn't expect this to happen. In a moment of inattention, he disappeared. Even if we can't catch up to this Yi Xian, we can still spread the news. This guy is going out. I believe that the experts of the Orthodox sects will be very interested in hunting him down. After a cold snort, these people disappeared in an instant. News also appeared on the side of the Orthodox sections. The blacklisted Yi Xian had already appeared outside. It was said that he was going to complete some missions. When the news spread, it attracted a lot of interest, especially the demon hunters. All of them were excited. Chapter 48-52. Many of the mission scrolls in Lin Fei's hands required him to kill an alternative war god. These war gods all lived in different places and could be considered as characters of their own. They all had a certain backing behind them, so killing these war gods was equivalent to starting a fight with these righteous forces. Under normal circumstances, no one would be willing to kill these war gods. These guys were much weaker than normal war gods, but of course they had mastered many mystic techniques, which was a bit different. The first war god Lin Fei targeted was called the Earth War God. This Earth War God was only a 5-star war god. He was able to protect a city, so he had some ability. He also had a powerful force behind him that had a 7-star war god. This kind of war god was really not someone that anyone would dare to fight. Lin Fei didn't think too much about it and went straight for the Earth War God. He wanted to get rid of this guy first. He wanted to see what kind of abilities this guy had. If he didn't have any, then he would just absorb it. He wanted to strengthen his physical body again. He felt that relying on these war gods, his infinite divine body would be able to rapidly improve. The place where the Earth War God was at was called the Grand Land City. It was under the influence of the Wind Cloud Palace, which had a 7-star war god and treasures. It was around the level of an 8-star war god. He could be considered a powerful advanced war god. It was already very difficult to break through at this level. No one was willing to offend a 7-star war god. Lin Fei was very careful along the way, basically using the greater teleportation technique. This thing was really too fast for him to travel. He didn't have to worry about being discovered at all. In just 2 days, Lin Fei arrived in the vicinity of the city of Kindle. As expected, he sensed a different kind of aura and immediately determined that this was the Earth War God. Ding discovered that there is faith energy within 100,000 miles that can be absorbed. At this moment, Lin Fei actually heard the system notification. He was a bit surprised. He didn't expect the system that had been silent all this time to have a notification. This was pretty good. At the very least, it would allow Lin Fei to conclude that his trip would not be in vain. It's best if I don't come here for nothing. If his unconventional war god is useful, then my infinite god body will improve even faster. When I reach the 50th layer, I might even be able to fight a 9-star war god. Lin Fei's eyes were filled with determination as he rushed towards the city of Kindle. If he wanted to kill the Earth War God, he had to be straightforward. If he didn't go straight to the point, the experts from the Wind Cloud Palace would be in a difficult position. He was getting closer and closer to the Earth God of War. The Earth God of War was in this city. Whoosh! A huge hand appeared in the sky above Earth City. He opened his mouth and pressed down. A loud rumbling sound rang out as all the powerful beings of the city of Kindle Fire felt as though the entire world had turned dark. Following that, they saw a gigantic hand appearing in the skies above them. All of them were frightened out of their wits. Their faces were pale from the unprecedented pressure, and they all vomited blood. "How dare you? How dare you cause trouble in the city of Kindle Fire? I'll destroy you, Earth God Pillar." An angry roar came from the city of Kindle Fire. Following that, a black shadow rose from the ground and collided with the gigantic hand with a loud rumbling sound. The deafening sound began to reverberate within 1,000,000 kilometers. A figure flew out. It was the Earth War God. His eyes were cold as he searched for the culprit. "Found you. How dare you make a move here? You've lived for too long. After I destroy you, I'll retrieve your memories. I'll also destroy the forces behind you." The Earth War God found the culprit in an instant. It was a young man in the distance. He instantly turned into a ray of light and flew over. Following that, he attacked the Earth meteor shower. The power of the Earth gathered and turned into a meteor shower. It covered the sky and turned the area within 100,000 kilometers into a forbidden zone. No wonder you're the Earth War God. You're really strong. Although you have the strength of a 5-star war god, not everyone can withstand it. However, you're too weak. A voice suddenly appeared next to the Earth War God. Following that, he saw a young man throwing a punch at him. Then, he fell into endless darkness. Masses of Jingguang came out in an instant. Lin Fei opened his mouth and sucked in all the Jingguang in an instant. He used the greater teleportation technique and left in an instant. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. The Earth War God was killed just like that. The city of Kindle Fire was filled with wails. Lin Fei left immediately after killing the Earth War God. At the same time, he let the system absorb and refine the power of faith. He wanted to see how much power of faith he could get this time. Soon, Lin Fei's brows relaxed and he was full of smiles. Sure enough, I guessed right. These alternative war gods all relied on the power of faith to become God. Therefore, their bodies are full of power of faith. Killing them and taking their power of faith is indeed a great harvest. At this rate, I should be able to cultivate my body even faster. Lin Fei was finally relieved. Ding dong! His infinite divine body was upgraded to level 31. It was upgraded by one more level. Lin Fei could feel the changes in his body. He was stronger than before. Next is War God Haya's turn. Killing an alternative war god allowed Lin Fei to find a way to improve his infinite divine body. What was he waiting for? He quickly moved and went straight to the next war god. The first was Earth War God, the second was War God Haya, and the third was War God Hong Niao. In the blink of an eye, many things happened on the righteous side. That was, a lot of alternative war gods were killed. Almost all of these unconventional war gods were killed with a single punch. It didn't matter if they were 5-star war gods or 6-star war gods, it was all the same. No one could withstand this punch. Soon, everyone knew who the culprit was. That was Yi Xian, who had just been blacklisted. He didn't expect to come to the righteous side's territory so soon. He killed more than 10 alternative war gods in one move. This made the geniuses even more furious. They also clapped their hands and roared in anger in those sections. They must kill this Yi Xian outside, and not allow him to return to the Yu Hell Mountain. Just like that, many geniuses on the righteous side began to move. And so, Lin Fei encountered his first battle. There were many experts on the righteous side. They found their way here after obtaining some treasures. He had to meet this Yi Xian and see what he was capable of killing so many unconventional gods of war. Chapter 48-53. For Lin Fei, this was a great time. These alternative gods of war were indeed very strong, but they were no match for Lin Fei's powerful physical body. Coupled with the combination of the time and space great paths, no alternative god of war could stand up to him. Furthermore, he had the great karma technique. With a series of attacks, he killed the alternative gods of war without any ability to struggle. In this way, Lin Fei gained more and more alternative gods of war, and the power of faith came rolling in. Lin Fei was grinning from ear to ear. Of course, what followed was the pursuit of some forces of the righteous path. In the beginning, there were only a few, but soon a large group came, and they were getting stronger and stronger. They were getting stronger and stronger. No matter how careful Lin Fei was, he would eventually be found. Heaven falls, earth rends. There was a loud rumbling sound. In a forest, a large formation quietly rose. Just like that, a figure was trapped within. The entire world was collapsing, and all the forces were rushing towards him. This move was extremely powerful, comparable to the superpower of a 7-star war god. It could be said that in an instant, it exploded with superpower, and it was accompanied by a destructive aura. This guy will definitely not be able to take it this time. My heaven falls, earth rends is much weaker each time I use it, but it's worth it if I can kill Yi Xian. A figure in black stood in the air above the forest. It was Ting Long, one of the more powerful geniuses of the righteous path. Yi Xian had spent a lot of effort to track him down. He had even used many treasures. Fortunately, he had finally found this guy and successfully set up a trap. He did not believe that Yi Xian would be able to take it. Not far away from him, there was a figure standing with his arms crossed, looking forward. It's best to kill this guy. This guy has killed many geniuses along the way, and many sects have offered a reward for him. If you kill him, you'll be famous. Everyone will know you, Tinglong. You still dare to come and fight with me? Do you think that my heaven falls, earth rends was not enough to kill this guy? Tinglong looked over and stared at Luo Jun, who was also a proud son of heaven. This person upstairs was also a proud son of heaven. He also had a first-rate sect behind him, and his background was not small either. This time, the two noticed Yi Xian almost at the same time. However, Tinglong was lucky enough to make the first move. Luo Jun could only stand aside. This was the rule of the heaven's favored ones. Whoever bumped into it first would make the first move. If they couldn't kill it, then the other would take over. Tinglong's strength was much higher than Luo Jun. Luo Jun was quite fearful of Tinglong. The two of them were lucky to be able to protect this guy at this time. Otherwise, they would have worked hard for nothing. Tinglong was very sure that this guy was dead for sure. There was no way he could survive. It's indeed not easy for the heavens chosen to come all the way here to kill me. You are indeed much stronger than the other heavens chosen. Sending you on your way gives me a special sense of accomplishment. Lin Fei's figure walked out. Following that, the space they were in rapidly collapsed as layers of power came crashing down on them. They bombarded their treasures. Their expressions changed instantly. One of them waved his hand and a few beams of cold light came flying over. Within the light concealment were lines of scriptures, extremely powerful. Following that, the scriptures were filled with an illusory figure. The moment the illusory figure appeared, the great sun-burning sky palm pressed down. Lin Fei directly raised his hand. He punched it with just one punch. The illusory figure instantly collapsed. Following that, Luo Jun slightly vomited blood as he retreated. Following that, the power of the void rushed towards him. Lin Fei strode over, leaving a footprint with each step. A few punches directly pierced through them. The two of them vomited blood again. They couldn't withstand it at all. I'm not that easy to kill. I can only say that you guys are unlucky. Killing the two of you will make them wary. Lin Fei's infinite god physique had already reached level 35. That's right. In such a short period of time, he had increased by 5 levels. How terrifying was his strength! With a single punch, these two heavens favored ones couldn't withstand any of their defenses at all. All of their attacks vanished in an instant. Soaring Dragon and Luo Jun directly fell from the sky. 2 huge sinkholes were smashed in the forest. The two of them continuously vomited blood. Half of their bodies had already collapsed. A figure appeared in front of them. If it wasn't Yi Xian, who else could it be? The two of them regretted it. This guy's strength was far more terrifying than they imagined. Their 6-star war god's strength couldn't even handle this guy. This guy was definitely an advanced level war god. Only an advanced level war god would be able to handle this guy. But in the entire great world of gods, how many advanced level war gods were willing to make a move? Yi Xian, wait! Soaring Dragon struggled to get up, but he couldn't. He just sat there, paralyzed. Lin Fei stood there motionlessly, quietly watching Soaring Dragon. His opponent's body was indeed not normal. Of course, his treasures were also very powerful. Otherwise, he would have been killed by those 2 punches. These two were indeed somewhat capable. No wonder they were heaven's favored ones from first-rate sections. Do you have anything you want to say before you die? Say it, I'll think about it for you. Lin Fei wasn't afraid of what else these two had up their sleeves. Lin Fei had even used spatial techniques in the void. Previously, Lin Fei only knew how to use spatial collapse. Now, he's grasped another little trick? Spatial chaos. No information could be transmitted at this moment. Even though this was just a trick, it was still quite useful to Lin Fei. These two couldn't even think of teleporting out. Everything was within Lin Fei's grasp. I know you want to kill other war gods and steal their faith energy. If I tell you there's a place with a lot of faith energy, can you let us live? Soaring Dragon and Luo Jun knew they weren't Yi Xian's match. The only thing they could do was survive. This guy was too terrifying. He was definitely an advanced level war god. A person like this couldn't be offended. You know about the power of faith? It seems like you know quite a lot. I am indeed interested in the power of faith. Tell me about it. If you are not lying to me, I might spare your lives. After all, it would be a pity for you to die after reaching this level of cultivation. This was indeed a rather unexpected piece of news. Of course, Lin Fei was interested in faith energy. His infinite god physique had reached level 35. He was probably the strongest in the history of the infinite sect. Even if he wasn't, he would probably be in the top 5. Chapter 48-54. Of course, Lin Fei hoped to obtain more and more power of faith. The more power of faith he obtained, the more honor points he could convert, and the easier it would be for him to cultivate his infinite divine body. At that time, he would be able to easily break through 40 levels. You see, it's just a few simple layers, but the range of improvement is very large. So, Lin Fei had to obtain more power of faith in the shortest amount of time possible. It was just that these unconventional war gods had all become cunning. Sometimes, Lin Fei would run away empty-handed. These fellows had long since grown to the point where they couldn't even be seen. Lin Fei had never met them before, so there was no cause and effect relationship between them. They also didn't have any killing intent or hatred towards Lin Fei, so the cause and effect relationship disappeared. So, it wasn't easy for Lin Fei to find them. It wasn't easy for Lin Fei to kill the other war gods. As long as they didn't show themselves, he wouldn't be able to find them. The God Punisher world was so big, who knew where they were hiding? Lin Fei was quite concerned about this matter. Now that these two geniuses were able to give him an unexpected surprise, Lin Fei was quite surprised. It seemed like they were lucky that they weren't killed in one hit. Lin Fei wanted to hear what secrets they knew, so that he could find out where else in the great world of the gods he could obtain power of faith. Ting Long and Luo Jun both let out a long sigh of relief. At least their lives were saved. The only thing they could do was to satisfy this Yi Xian. Only then could they truly survive. An advanced war god wasn't someone they could afford to offend. Even the first-rate sects behind them would treat this news seriously. Based on the current situation, no one could kill Yi Xian, unless a few advanced war gods attacked together. In that case, there was still a chance of success. But once Yi Xian escaped, he would face the revenge of an advanced war god. All the disciples of the sect, unless they didn't leave the sect, would be killed. This is the terror of an advanced level war god. To be able to survive in the hands of an advanced level war god, they felt especially proud. A demonic Tao disciple was a demonic Tao disciple. In any case, he couldn't beat them. It was fine as long as he was alive. I know that the God's restaurant sells faith energy. I heard that it's the most mysterious place in our great world of gods. Ting Long was the first to speak. This was also a secret that he knew. Although this secret wasn't considered a top secret, not many people in the Myriad City's major world knew about the God's building. God's Pavilion, are you sure you're right? Lin Fei had never heard of this God's Hall before. Even after flipping through some ancient books, he still couldn't find it. It was rather unexpected for Soaring Dragon to mention such a place in the great world of gods. There were 9 levels in the great world of gods. Lin Fei knew about this, but he didn't know much about it. The other injured Lord Luo also spoke. Our great world of gods does indeed have a God's Pavilion. I've heard that it's a unique and mysterious existence. It's rather difficult to find it, and even if you do, you'll have to go through a series of tests. But as long as you pass the tests, you'll be able to obtain what you want. We didn't lie to you, this place really does exist. To Lin Fei, if such a place really existed, it would have a certain level of attraction. His current physical body was quite strong. Even if an advanced level war god came, they might not be able to do anything to him. Unless a peak level war god used a supreme treasure to break his physical body, he basically wouldn't be in any danger. This was the terrifying effect of the unlimited god body. At this time, Lin Fei naturally hoped that his unlimited god body would improve. He was naturally interested in this god's restaurant. He also believed that Ting Long and Lord Luo wouldn't lie to him, because he didn't have the guts. Everything was under his control. Lin Fei didn't sense any killing intent from them. This was the miraculous effect of karma. In other words, the god's restaurant did exist in the great world of gods. It's just that everyone didn't know about it. It wasn't impossible to find this god's restaurant. There should be some information outside. Then do you know how to find this god's restaurant? Don't tell me that you only know a piece of information and don't know the general location. That's equivalent to not telling me anything. This will make me very unhappy. If I'm unhappy, I'm afraid I'll take your lives. Ting Long and Lord Luo's expressions changed again. I know that the god's restaurant has a base in the Great Tang Empire. Yes, it's in the south of the great world of gods. The two of them hurriedly told him everything they knew. Lin Fei listened quietly. The great world of gods was very big. It was divided into 4 regions. The south they mentioned was the Jiangnan region. There were still many experts over there. Since you told me such good news, I'll spare your lives. I hope you can help me spread the news and attract more geniuses. Got it? Lin Fei waved his hand and the two of them were swept away by a force. However, they heard the last sentence clearly. What was this? Could it be that they would attract more geniuses over? This Devil Dao expert was too despicable. However, when they thought about the losses they suffered, they decided to spread the news and let other geniuses experience what it felt like to be heavily injured. After all, they had many enemies. Now that Lin Fei knew about this, he didn't have much interest in killing the other war gods anymore. Those fellows had all gone into hiding. Lin Fei didn't have the mood to think about it anymore. He might as well go to the south. The south was also known as the Jiangnan area. It was a very large area. It took Lin Fei almost a whole year to arrive at the southern area. This was how big the great world of gods was. This was even after Lin Fei used the great teleportation technique to rush over. Otherwise, it would not have been so easy to rush over. Therefore, even if one was extremely strong in the great world of gods, it was still very difficult to travel the entire great world of gods. Once he arrived at the Jiangnan region, Lin Fei felt that this place was different. It was warm all year round. What surprised Lin Fei was that in the Jiangnan region, there were several empires of various sizes. There were more than 10 of them, forming a chaotic scene. Chapter 48-55. The Jiangnan region was indeed a little different from what Lin Fei had imagined. He had been here for about a month and had more or less understood the situation. This was a war-torn country. The strongest were the 3 empires. They were the Great Tang Empire, Great Qin Empire and Great Zhao Empire. This region was completely different from the region that Lin Fei was in. The experts here were also very strong. If not for his understanding, Lin Fei would have suspected that he had come to the wrong place. The 3 empires here were the strongest. Behind them were other empires of various sizes, all under the rule of the empires. It would be quite troublesome for Lin Fei to find out the exact location of the God's Tower from the Great Tang Empire. After all, the Great Tang Empire was one of the 3 empires and could be considered a super empire. On this day, Lin Fei finally arrived at the Great Tang Empire. The Great Tang Empire was very big. It controlled dozens of first-grade empires, hundreds of second-grade empires and third-grade empires. The empires here were all divided according to their ranks. The Great Tang Empire was a super empire. Naturally, it controlled empires of various sizes. Arriving at the Great Tang Empire, Lin Fei felt a strong aura. It was much stronger than what Lin Fei had imagined. No wonder it was said to be one of the 3 great empires. This caused Lin Fei to frown slightly as he casually walked into a city. Now, Lin Fei just walked into a city in a black cloak. He casually walked into a restaurant, intending to listen to the situation first. He had to find the god's tower. After all, it was not easy to kill a war god. Fortunately, there were no wanted posters in Jiangnan, so Lin Fei was able to move around unimpeded. This side was quite relaxed, and there was no division between the righteous and demonic sections. Along the way, Lin Fei saw some righteous sects and some demonic sections. There was no killing. The outside powers in Jiangnan were unable to enter. After entering a restaurant, Lin Fei casually found a place to sit. He called the waiter and ordered some home-cooked dishes. He called for another pot of wine and began to eat leisurely. He was also listening to the conversations around him, but Lin Fei's luck seemed to be average. He didn't hear any useful information. This made Lin Fei a little surprised. Originally, he wanted to inquire about the news, but now it seemed that there was some trouble. There's an important piece of news that I don't know if everyone has heard. It's said that the little princess has been poisoned, and it won't be long before she dies. It's said that the Emperor of the Great Tang has issued a reward. Anyone who can save the little princess will receive 3 conditions, any 3 conditions. At a table not far away, someone suddenly lowered his voice and said. The other people were also tempted. Lin Fei was about to get up and leave, but when he heard this, he didn't move. He poured himself another glass of wine. The wine here is quite tasty. He had an idea in his mind. The Empire's little princess actually got poisoned? That's quite surprising. I can get 3 small conditions if I cure him? I can give it a try. Lin Fei instantly had an idea. After all, he wanted to find the god's restaurant as soon as possible. Once he found the god's restaurant, he would be able to get what he wanted. He couldn't just wander around outside. He had to improve his physical body first. Even though the 35 levels were already very powerful, to Lin Fei it was still a far cry. No matter what, he had to give it a try. After listening for a while more, Lin Fei threw the money on the table and left, heading straight for the imperial capital of the Great Tang Empire. The imperial capital of the Great Tang Empire? It's really huge. It's a majestic 1,000,000 miles. It's really a terrifying imperial capital. Lin Fei didn't enter the imperial capital? He felt the aura of a super expert in the Great Tang Empire. This was definitely a top expert, even though Lin Fei had seen many experts along the way. This was the first time he felt such a strong aura in the imperial capital of the Great Tang Empire. He immediately suspected that it was a 9-star war god. He had seen 8-star war gods before, but 9-star war gods were really rare. Moreover, this 9-star war god was especially strong. Even if he wasn't at the top level, he was definitely a great expert in the great world of the immortals. He was truly in charge of a region. No wonder the Great Tang Empire could become a super empire. It was really amazing to have such an expert in charge. Moreover, Lin Fei could feel more than one such aura. There were 3 in total. This meant that the Great Tang Empire had a total of 3 great experts. With such a top-notch expert overseeing things, it seemed that the other 2 empires also had powerful forces. They couldn't catch each other. There weren't any checks at the city gates? Therefore, Lin Fei was able to easily enter the Great Tang Empire. After entering the Great Tang Empire, there were war gods everywhere. It was much more lively than the previous places. Like ordinary 2-star war gods, 3-star war gods to 5-star war gods could be found everywhere. He would bump into them from time to time. True experts were as common as clouds. Lin Fei found an inn and stayed there. Gave away some money? He only got the news from the waiter. In fact, the imperial capital really did offer a reward. Whoever could save the little princess would receive the 3 small requests promised by the Tang Emperor. No matter what the small request was, even the Great Tang Emperor would do it for you? This was the capability of the Great Tang Empire. Therefore, many people came to give it a try. This great Tang Emperor was a little different. You could try, but if you couldn't cure her, you would be executed on the spot. It was that simple. This made many people stop thinking about it. It wouldn't do if you didn't have some ability. After all, the great Tang Emperor was a super expert. If you couldn't cure the little princess, you would be executed immediately. Who would dare to try? Although the reward was always there, no one dared to accept it. If you couldn't cure her, you would lose your life. This wasn't a good deal at all. People say that fortune comes from danger, but this kind of fortune was a little far from them. If they didn't pay attention, they would be completely gone. Therefore, they might as well stay put. Hearing this news, Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This great Tang Emperor was quite domineering. If he couldn't cure her, he would kill her. Not everyone dared to go. Lin Fei was also wondering if he should go. Although his physical body was very strong, this great Tang Emperor was still very powerful. Chapter 48-56. After finding out about the situation, Lin Fei started to ponder. He definitely had to go, but how to save her was another problem. Lin Fei didn't want to become cannon fodder and be killed by the great Tang Emperor. In the next few days, Lin Fei basically left early and returned late. He really heard a lot of news. This time, the matter with the little princess was most likely done by the other two empires. As for whether it was the Great Zhao Empire or the Great Qin Empire, he didn't know. In any case, it was one of them. This poison was extremely toxic. It wasn't something that could be cured by any miracle pill. In terms of treating illnesses, Lin Fei really didn't have any good methods. It wouldn't be a problem for him to fight and kill, but treating illnesses was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Even so, Lin Fei still wanted to take a look at this princess. After all, the great Tang Emperor was probably the only one who knew the location of the god's pagoda. This was because Lin Fei had asked around and no one knew the location of the god's pagoda. Therefore, the only ones who knew this secret were probably the imperial family. And the imperial family only had the great Tang Emperor. The great Tang Empire had 3 9-stars war gods. Therefore, it wasn't easy to obtain this information. Indeed, Lin Fei could single-handedly defeat them. However, if the 3 war gods worked together, he wouldn't have much of a chance. Lin Fei's defense and attack power had indeed increased, but there was still a gap between them and him. Therefore, he went to kill those war gods to steal their power of faith. It was a pity that they were all hiding like rats. Lin Fei didn't know what to do with them, so he could only come here. Fortunately, Lin Fei's luck was pretty good, and he managed to find another piece of information. This time, the poison that the little princess saved was called the poison of the 9 nether. It was an extremely toxic poison. It would explode within a certain period of time, and it was very violent. It wasn't something that any expert could withstand. The reason why the 9th princess was able to survive until now was naturally because the great Tang Empire had the resources. But once the poison of the 9 nether broke out, even the treasures of the world wouldn't be able to suppress it. The result was certain death. The news that Lin Fei knew was also related to the 9 serenities poison. It was said that if one wanted to obtain the antidote to the netherworld poison, they would have to go to the netherworld. Only in the 9 netherland could one find the antidote to the 9 nether poison. It was said that there was a 9 hell demon king there, and as long as one obtained a 9 hell frost flower, one could cure the 9 hell poison. It sounded like a simple matter, but the strength of the netherworld demon king was very strong. That was the strength of a 9-stars war god. Furthermore, he had 9 heads. It was said that each head had a special divine ability. Therefore, there was no one who could kill this netherworld demon king. He could be considered one of the strongest existences in the demon clan. Although they knew that the poison of the 9 nether was most likely created by the netherworld demon king, if they wanted to obtain the antidote, they could only get it from him. But so far, no one dared to seize the antidote. Even the great Tang Emperor didn't leave. He was afraid that this was a trap. Of course, this was just the news that was spread outside. As for whether it was true or not, no one knew. But to Lin Fei this was good news. At least he knew that if he wanted to save the little princess, he had to go to the Netherworld Demon King and obtain the 9 Hellfrost Flower. This was one way. It was better than going to see the great Tang Emperor. After all, it wouldn't be easy to get out of the Imperial Palace. One had to know that the Imperial Palace of the 3 great empires was a dragon's pool and tiger's den. Once he went in, he wouldn't be able to come out. Lin Fei was quite capable, but he didn't have much confidence. Therefore, he decided to go to the Netherworld Demon King. If he could obtain the 9 Hellfrost Flower from this 9 Hell Demon King, it would not be impossible. After making all the preparations, Lin Fei rushed to the Netherworld Demon King. On the way to the Netherworld Demon King, Lin Fei realized that many people were heading in this direction. As for whether they were going to the Netherworld Demon King, he didn't know. In any case, he felt that some people were quite daring. They would do anything and dare to try their luck. Along the way, he passed through countless empires of various sizes. Some empires were still at war. Fortunately, Lin Fei wasn't interested in these things. He successfully found the location of the Netherworld Demon King. He came to the outside of the Netherworld Demon King. Lin Fei saw a continuous mountain range. This mountain range was called the Demon Mountain Range. It was a very special place. There were many demons living here. The 3 great empires didn't have many ways to deal with them, who asked the demons to reproduce quickly and be strong. Therefore, everyone stayed out of each other's way and lived in harmony. But everyone knew that once one side's strength broke through, it would definitely be a war. Fortunately, everyone was very calm at this time. There was no scene of you fight me, I fight you. Outside, Lin Fei saw a big city. There were many people going in and out. Lin Fei also entered the city and sat down for a while. He also knew that this was a city built by merchants. It was used to trade for all kinds of resources. The most abundant resources in the Demon Mountain Range were the fur, bones, and corpses of the monsters. Therefore, there were many experts of all sizes gathered here. Lin Fei was puzzled before as to why so many people came here. Now he understood what was going on. It turned out to be a commercial city. These people were all aiming for the demons in the Demon Mountain Range. After killing these demons, they could get their fur and get a certain value. It was no wonder that there was a 9-star war god overseeing this city. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to continue. Lin Fei rested here for a while before entering the Demon Mountain Range. He had to go to the Netherworld Demon King. This Netherworld Demon King was in the depths of the east of the Demon Mountain. If he wanted to go there, he would have to meet a lot of powerful demons. Of course, this was not a problem for Lin Fei. There were no demons in the outermost area of the Demon Mountain Range. Their strength was average, so he didn't care about them at all. He went straight to the depth. When he reached the central area, he met some monsters. These monsters were quite strong. He even met some demons. When a monster developed intelligence, it became a demon. This was the difference. On the other hand, demons could command demonic beasts. Therefore, it was not terrible to meet monsters, but it was a little troublesome to meet demons. Chapter 48-57. After arriving at the central region, the number of fiendish demons that Lin Fei encountered increased. These fiendish demons were at least at the war god level, so not everyone could deal with them. These demons basically had a fixed area. As long as one did not enter their area, they would not be attacked. Ordinary demonic beasts did not even have that ability. Lin Fei also knew why no one was in the mood to go to the land of 9 underworlds. They would probably be killed by the demons on the way before they could find the king of 9 underworld. I smell the scent of humans. A tiger-shaped demon dashed out. As soon as he entered the next area, he saw a tiger-shaped demon charging directly at him. It was a 5-star war god. Blood rained down from the sky, and it turned out to be a 5-star war god. Coupled with its strong body, it was comparable to a 6-star war god. Lin Fei raised his hand and executed Space Crush. With a loud boom, the tiger-shaped demon was sent flying. Lin Fei grabbed forward with his hand. His 5 fingers were like mountains and directly grabbed the tiger-shaped demon. The tiger-shaped demon released a strong force in an attempt to break free. However, it was useless in front of Lin Fei. It was directly grabbed. 2 slaps on the left and right immediately filled the tiger-shaped demon with fear. It begged for mercy. "I was wrong. I was wrong. Please spare me. Please spare me. I was just passing by." After 2 slaps, the tiger-shaped demon knew that it had encountered a great expert. This was definitely a top-notch expert who could easily destroy it. Lin Fei happened to be lacking a mount. Otherwise, he did not know how long it would take to reach the land of 9 underworlds. "You're lucky. I happen to be lacking a mount. Send me to the land of 9 underworlds and then you can scram. Otherwise, I can destroy you right now. You choose." Lin Fei said calmly. The tiger-shaped demon nodded. I'm willing to be your mount." At this moment, the tiger-shaped demon naturally knew what to choose. Otherwise, it would definitely die. It hurriedly transformed into a tiger. It was a huge tiger. Lin Fei flipped over and sat on the tiger's back, directly rushing towards the land of 9 Nether. With this tiger, they didn't encounter any more trouble on their way to the 9 Hells. Although some demons came out along the way, the tiger-shaped demon just roared at them. Nothing happened after that. Just like that, Lin Fei smoothly arrived at the land of 9 Nether. This place was shrouded in darkness, so he couldn't really see anything. However, Lin Fei actually smelled a dangerous and terrifying aura inside. This should be the Netherworld Demon King. "Sir, this is the place. I'll be able to find the 9 underworlds Demon King once I enter. Can I leave now?" The tiger-shaped demon trembled as he spoke. Clearly, he was very afraid of the Netherworld Demon King inside. Lin Fei flipped over and with a wave of his hand, he flung this fellow away. How could the tiger-shaped demon dare to hesitate? In the blink of an eye, it disappeared without a trace. Lin Fei sized up the area in front of him and knew that this was the land of 9 Nether. What he had to do now was to find the Netherworld Demon King. If he could talk to him, that would be for the best. "Seems like you're looking for the 9 Hellfrost flower? I'm not the only one. I didn't expect more people to come." Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. He could already sense that there were other figures heading in this direction. They were extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they appeared nearby. Then, they appeared in Lin Fei's field of vision. Lin Fei wasn't surprised at all. After all, they wanted to find the Netherworld Demon King? But he wasn't the only one. Now, there was another person? That was very normal. It was normal for another person to come, but why did they come at this time? It would more or less cause a little surprise. Then, a few figures appeared in front of him. They saw Lin Fei too? He was more or less surprised. He didn't expect someone to come all the way to the land of 9 Nether. It seemed like they were also here for the Netherworld Demon King. "I thought I was fast. I didn't expect you to be so fast. If I'm not mistaken, you should also be here for the Netherworld Demon King, right? Why don't we work together? I'm Lu Yu." The young man named Lu Yu laughed. The young men behind him were also sizing him up. Because they didn't know this young man at all. Logically speaking, people who came from the land of 9 Nether should more or less have some strength. Moreover, they had also received some news. But now that they saw this young man, he seemed very unfamiliar. Of course they were on guard. Lin Fei was also sizing up these people. They were all quite strong. Especially this Lu Yu, who was actually a 6-star war god. As for the rest, they were all 5-star war gods. With such a lineup, they actually dared to come to the Netherworld Demon King's territory? Weren't they here to die? No need. I'm afraid to go with you. When the time comes, I won't even know what happened. The Netherworld Demon King has the strength of a 9-star war god. Do you think you can beat him if you work together? Lin Fei shook his head. He directly rejected them. Lu Yu couldn't help but laugh. It seems that you don't know about another thing. This Netherworld Demon King has already gone into death seclusion. He basically won't show himself. Therefore, if you want to obtain the 9 Nether Frost Flower, you just have to withstand the methods he left behind. Don't you know about this? It seems that you're also a newcomer. Lin Fei really didn't know about this news. Naturally, he was confident that he could fight this Netherworld Demon King. He never expected to receive such an unexpected piece of news. He knew that this Lu Yu definitely wouldn't lie. Therefore, it was extremely likely that this Netherworld Demon King was really breaking through death seclusion. It was extremely likely that he had the strength of a 10-star war god. In this case, it would probably be easier to obtain the 9 Nether Frost Flower. Lin Fei quickly shook his head in his heart. It probably wouldn't be that easy. Otherwise, everyone would have come. There wouldn't be just a few people. Even so, I still prefer to be alone. Thank you. Lin Fei still shook his head and went straight in. After Lin Fei went in, the people behind Lu Yu also began to talk. This person really doesn't know what's good for him. He went in just like that. Does he really think he can obtain the 9 Nether Frost Flower? Even we don't have much confidence in obtaining the 9 Nether Frost Flower. It's pretty good for him to go in like this. We'll have another cannon fodder if we let him scout the way. The others all burst into laughter. Only Lu Yu's expression was slightly different. This cannon fodder is not simple. Chapter 48-58. The land of 9 underworlds was filled with poison that was constantly spreading. When Lin Fei entered, he could already feel the presence of the poison. It kept seeping into his body. However, his infinite god body wouldn't allow the poison to seep in. He had some understanding of the Devil King of 9 underworlds. It seemed like this guy was an expert in using poison. Even the Tang Emperor didn't dare to let his guard down, let alone come here. Of course, the poison wasn't much to Lin Fei. As he walked, he was very careful. At the same time, he sensed if there were any super experts here. After all, even the Tang Emperor didn't dare to come here. It was highly likely that there was an ambush here. It was highly possible that such a thing existed. Very quickly, Lin Fei sensed a super strong aura. If he wasn't wrong, it should be the Devil King of 9 underworlds. It was indeed the strength of a 9 stars war god. Such a Devil King was a beast, so of course it wouldn't be easy to deal with. Even 2 or 3 9 stars war gods might not be a match for the Devil King of 9 underworlds. One must know that the Devil King of 9 underworlds was an expert in controlling poison. Just by looking at the poison that permeated the surroundings, one could tell. What interested Lin Fei the most was that there wasn't just one type of poison. Instead, there were several types of poison that were constantly wandering around the area. Every time they entered a small area, they would change to a different type of poison. One could imagine that along the way there would be a lot of poison in their bodies. At that time, once they were combined, it would become a kind of super poison. At this moment, Lin Fei understood the methods of the Devil King of 9 underworlds. It was indeed quite powerful. It was no wonder that ordinary people didn't dare to enter. For example, Lu Yu's group just now. He didn't know why they dared to enter. As for whether or not the Devil King of 9 underworlds was in seclusion, who could guarantee that? If it was just an excuse and it turned out to be fake, then they wouldn't even have a chance to escape. Lin Fei wasn't that stupid. After sensing the aura of the Devil King of 9 underworlds, Lin Fei's eyes suddenly narrowed. He sensed 2 more strong auras. Other than that, there seemed to be a super formation. His eyes lit up a lot. It seems that my guess is right. There is indeed a trap here, and I'm afraid it is aimed at the Tang Emperor. The Tang Emperor is also smart and did not come in person. If he comes, there will be trouble. Lin Fei's expression did not change as he slowly advanced forward. Along the way, some poisonous insects appeared, but their power was only average. Of course, the most terrifying thing was the poison. These toxins were not here, so it was impossible to guard against them. Lin Fei had lost count of the number of poisons he had encountered along the way. So far, none of the poisons had been able to penetrate his infinite god body. At this time, a good physical body was very important. Lu Yu and the others were probably going to suffer a huge loss. Unless they brought the corresponding treasures, even if they did, it would be very exhausting to activate the treasures all the way. It looks like it's just ahead. Lin Fei suddenly sped up a lot. So. Rays of cold light flew out. They were actually poisonous snakes. These poisonous snakes could instantly burst out with the power of a war god. However, when they got close to Lin Fei, they were killed by the power of the void collapse. Interesting. It's actually a one-time attack. It was rare to see such a one-off attack. Most importantly, they were all venomous snakes. These snakes all had one eye. They were very strange, but their methods were very cruel. In just a moment they could make people feel despair. In less than the time it took for a joss stick to burn, Lin Fei came to the end, and a palace appeared in front of him. A black palace. There was a huge statue in front of him. All of them had the body of a snake and the head of a human. It was obvious that this was the Devil King of 9 underworlds. Lin Fei also sensed that the formation was just in front of him. It was not far from him. Lin Fei did not have the intention to go up and give it a try. This was obviously a super formation aimed at the Tang Emperor. With his small arms and legs, he should just forget about it. If he went in and got pinned down, it would be really troublesome. At that time, he would really not be able to get out unless he tried his best. Lin Fei did not want to experience such a thing again. He wasn't that free, so he directly went around the side. He entered the palace. Inside the formation, 2 figures stood with their hands behind their back. They had indeed sensed someone coming in. Soon, they saw a young man. However, this young man was quite interesting. He was very careful, and even seemed to have sensed something. I didn't expect a brat to dare to come to 9 underworlds. It seems like he sensed something. He should have a treasure on him. A middle-aged man in white said with a smile. He should have sensed something. It's a pity that it's not the Tang Emperor. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to wait here. The other person was a middle-aged man in green. The 2 of them quickly retracted their gazes and didn't pay any more attention to it. Their target this time was the Tang Emperor. As for the others, they could just stand aside. Lin Fei had already entered 9 underworlds' palace. There were skeletons everywhere, big and small. As for ants, there was not a single one of them. It turned out that this 9 underworlds demon king was actually a commander without an army. This was quite surprising to Lin Fei. Lin Fei began to search, but it seemed like there was nothing good here, not to mention the antidote. After an hour, he didn't find anything at all. Lin Fei realized that if he wanted to get the antidote, he would have to find this 9 underworlds demon king and have a good talk. Lu Yu and his group seem to have come in. They aren't slow, but they are a little unlucky. They actually barged into the formation. As soon as Lin Fei stopped, he sensed movement outside. Such a commotion was quite big, and the first thing that came to his mind was the array formation outside. He could see it, but it didn't mean that others could. If there was no accident, they should have entered the formation. After all, there were 2 great experts in there. Everything had to be made clear. Lin Fei sighed. Without any hesitation, he went straight to the 9 underworlds demon king. He knew where the other party was, so he naturally had to see if he was really in seclusion. If not, then he could have a chat. If he was in seclusion, then he wouldn't be polite and would just make a move. He didn't believe that he couldn't find this 9 underworlds frost flower. The closer he got to the 9 underworlds demon king, the more he could feel the so-called poison. This poison was more terrifying and overbearing than the poison outside. It seeped in quite fiercely. Chapter 48:59. When all these poisons were mixed together, it was really hard to defend against. Along the way, Lin Fei started to feel a little bit of pressure. This 9 Hell Demon King was indeed quite capable. Just these poisons alone were enough to form a barrier. Following which, the poisons became multicolored and even more poisonous. Lin Fei became more alert. At the very least, he formed a barrier around him to block out the poisons. While these poisons didn't look like much, each one of them was really terrifying. Lin Fei had never seen so many different kinds of poisons. No wonder the great Tang Emperor's daughter was poisoned. This fellow was definitely an expert in poisons. If this fellow didn't specialize in poisons, Lin Fei would have cut his head off. He definitely didn't believe that this fellow wasn't an expert in poisons. Hence, he had a plan in mind. When he really met this 9 Hell Demon King, he had to be really careful. Fortunately, his infinite god body had already reached the 35th level, causing his toughness to become extremely terrifying. At the very least, the poisons wouldn't be able to seep in for a while. This was his biggest advantage. As he walked through the multicolored poisons, Lin Fei could feel how strong this 9 Hell Demon King was. At the same time, he could feel that the aura was getting closer and closer. If he was right, the 9 Hell Demon King should be right in front of him. Not long later. In front of him, there was a patch of darkness, and bubbles started to appear. These bubbles were extremely poisonous, and they were incomparably poisonous. Lin Fei could feel it from far away. Following which, he squinted. Near these bubbles, he actually saw many flowers. These flowers were the 9 Hell Frost flowers that he had been searching for. Looking at them, there were at least 15 of them, and they weren't in the bubbles. Lin Fei didn't charge over right away. He knew that these bubbles weren't to be trifled with. If he wanted to get the 9 Hell Frost flower, he had to rely on other method. At the very least, Lin Fei wouldn't be rash enough to pluck the 9 Hell Frost flower. If he did, it would be a huge problem. Any one of the 15 9 Abyss Frost flowers would be able to save the daughter of the great Tang Emperor. It was no wonder why the two experts would wait here for the arrival of the great Tang Emperor. As for whether the Tang Emperor would come, Lin Fei himself did not know. No matter what, he had the chance to pick the 9 Nether Frost flower. Lin Fei raised his hand and dashed towards the nearest 9 Hell Frost flower. When the hand was in midair, the bubbles instantly turned into streams of light. It directly attacked Lin Fei's hand. Voila voila! The toxins that filled the sky instantly converged. It turned out that these bubbles were all formless attacks. This one attack had the might of a 9 stars war god. This was indeed a land of death. He knew that these bubbles wouldn't be easy to deal with. He didn't expect it to contain poison. A blow from a 9 stars war god was indeed very powerful. Not everyone could withstand such an attack. Even the toxins in the surroundings were mobilized by this attack. It seemed that anyone who came here would have their strength greatly affected after the toxins in their body were mobilized. They wouldn't be able to withstand such an attack. The result was obvious. Lin Fei squinted his eyes and saw many skeletons around him. These skeletons were all colorful, which meant that they had been poisoned. As for how long they had been dead, he didn't know. But no matter what, there were still quite a number of people here. It seemed that the number of people who could pluck the 9 Hell Frost flower could be counted on one hand. As for Lin Fei, he wasn't surprised at all. What Lin Fei had to do now was very simple. He just had to pluck the 9 Hell Frost flower. That was it. He stretched out his arm towards the 9 Hell Frost flower. Bubbles attacked him, but to Lin Fei, these toxins couldn't break through his defense. And what Lin Fei had to do was to be quick. It was a simple task. The attacks from the bubbles were getting more and more frequent. Gradually, Lin Fei started to feel the pressure. Although he was getting closer to the 9 Hell Frost flower, Lin Fei could feel that it was really difficult to pluck it. The void collapsed. There was a loud rumbling sound. The power of space collapsed and hit the bubbles. It affected them to a certain extent. Lin Fei's arm also sped up quite a bit. Finally, he grabbed the 9 Hell Frost flower with one hand. However, just as he grabbed it, the 9 Hell Frost flower turned into a green force that wrapped around his arm. In the blink of an eye, it was coming towards him. He vaguely saw an evil figure. He didn't need to guess to know that it was the 9 Hell Demon King. Not bad, not bad. There's actually a powerful kid today. Your physical body is quite strong. It's the strongest I've ever seen. It's a pity that you still fell for it. The sudden change of the 9 Hell Frost flower caught Lin Fei off guard. He had really underestimated the power of the 9 Hell Demon King. He had actually set up such a move. So you're the Demon King of the 9 underworlds. These 9 underworlds frost flowers are your incarnations. Impressive, impressive. No wonder so many people died here. They probably fell into your trap because they were careless. A 9-star war god actually played this trick. At this moment, Lin Fei finally knew the origin of the 9 Hell Demon King. This fella had actually transformed into a 9 Nether Frost flower, followed by a 9 Nether Frost flower. The people who came here probably didn't have any precautions. When they picked the 9 Hell Frost flower, their strength was greatly reduced. In the end, they fell for the 9 Hell Demon King's trick. Good plan. A top-notch plan. Lin Fei had also learned something new. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. When he had first picked it, he hadn't realized that the 9 Hell Frost flower was the incarnation of the 9 Hell Demon King. No one would believe him even if he said it. It's a pity that you found out too late. The green figure instantly rushed towards the center of Lin Fei's eyebrows. At this moment, Lin Fei stretched out his palm. With a light grab, he directly grabbed onto the green figure. Then, he activated the Great Karma technique. With a loud bang, the green figure instantly turned into ashes. Lin Fei quickly retreated. This was the powerful effect of the Great Karma technique. Since he had formed karma with the 9 Hell Demon King, Lin Fei could instantly use his killer move and catch the other party off guard. Lin Fei was also out of danger. Then, the 9 Hell Frost flowers instantly collapsed. A figure walked out. It was filled with an evil aura. Chapter 4860. The figure that walked out was none other than the 9th Underworld Demon King. Lin Fei felt that something was wrong from the beginning. He didn't expect the 9th Underworld Demon King to have such means to cultivate such an incarnation. No wonder it was so difficult to get the 9th Underworld Frost Flower. Only a few people could get their hands on it, unless the 9th Underworld Demon King personally handed it over. The possibility of this was very low. At the very least, the 9th Underworld Demon King was definitely not that easy to talk to. This was something that Lin Fei could still see. I didn't expect the famous Demon King of the 9 Serenities to play such a trick. It's really surprising. It's a pity that you still can't deal with me with such a trick. I don't know if it's a little regretful. Lin Fei looked at the 9th Underworld Demon King with a smile. This time, the 9th Underworld Demon King was also sizing up the young man in front of him. He didn't expect that the young man could escape from his trick. This kind of situation was really rare. You're also quite powerful. It's the first time you escaped. It's really not that easy for others. But even so, in front of me, you still have to be obedient and let me devour your essence and blood. I believe that after devouring you, it will be very nourishing. As soon as the 9th Underworld Demon King's voice fell, there was a loud rumble. The power of the void collapse directly rushed over. It turned out that Lin Fei had directly launched an attack. For the 9th Underworld Demon King, there was no need to be polite to such a guy. He could just directly attack. The power of the void collapse was indeed very strong. This attack did not cause any injury to the 9th Underworld Demon King. However, his expression was a little strange, and the interest in his eyes increased. Interesting. I didn't expect you to have spatial means. It seems that you're quite famous. No wonder you dared to come here alone. As soon as the voice of the Demon King of the Netherworld fell, Lin Fei directly activated his spirit projection and instantly penetrated through the Demon King's body. There was a loud rumble. It filled the body of the ninth underworld Demon King. In the blink of an eye, the ninth underworld Demon King was completely blown up. Following that, a figure condensed once again. His expression was extremely ugly. He didn't expect to suffer such a loss. This brat actually had such a powerful secret technique. This move of mine isn't bad, right? This is something I left for you. Now it seems to be pretty good. However, your fleshly body is indeed quite tough. I wonder, how many of my moves can you withstand? Another spirit projection was sent over. This time, the Netherworld Demon King had turned into a large mass of black fog. As a result, Lin Fei's attack had actually failed. This was rather rare. Poison World Domination. The black poison instantly attacked and turned into a skull of death, swallowing Lin Fei in one gulp. The toxins that filled the sky converged and formed a series of blade lights and sword shadows that attacked Lin Fei. If he couldn't block it, he would be poisoned. Lin Fei's infinite godly body finally came in handy. There was a loud rumbling sound. Lin Fei punched out and instantly destroyed the toxins. The Netherworld Demon King also condensed once again. There was a look of disbelief on his face. This guy's fleshly body actually withstood it. What kind of fleshly body did you cultivate? You can even withstand my toxins. If it was a normal war god, they wouldn't have been able to withstand that attack and would have been hit by his poison. Even the toxins in their bodies were triggered. However, there wasn't even a trace of toxins in this guy's body. Even when he used Poison World Domination, it couldn't penetrate his body. Instead, it was destroyed by his opponent's punches and kick. The Netherworld Demon King finally realized that this young man in front of him wasn't that easy to deal with. This guy wasn't very strong, but he still made him suffer. However, this guy's fleshly body was extremely tough. Lin Fei laughed. If I didn't have some tricks up my sleeves, I wouldn't have come here. Lin Fei finally realized the gap between him and a war god of 9 stars. The opponent was indeed very strong, especially this Poison World Domination, which was filled with terrifying toxins. If it wasn't for his strong fleshly body, he wouldn't have been able to withstand it. He still had to put in some effort to increase his strength. Fortunately, his infinite godly body had reached the 35th level, which more or less allowed Lin Fei's strength to change. It was another spirit projection. This time, Lin Fei didn't directly throw it over. Instead, he directly appeared in front of him. His punches and kicks turned into a fierce attack. He wanted to see how strong this Netherworld Demon King's fleshly body was. He wanted to see if it was his fleshly body that was stronger. I don't believe that your fleshly body is that strong. Watch my Poison Demon Divine technique. The Netherworld Demon King laughed loudly and also used his punches and kick. His punches and kicks were completely different from everyone else's, and they contained toxins that could easily kill a 5-star heavenly god. As for a 6-star heavenly god, even a 7-star heavenly god wouldn't be able to withstand it. After a long time, they would also be killed. This exchange made the Netherworld Demon King realize that his opponent's fleshly body was very strong. When his toxins came into contact with his opponent's fleshly body, they were directly bounced off and couldn't seep in at all. It was like the indestructible diamond body, it couldn't seep in at all. Unless he could open up a wound on his opponent's fleshly body, otherwise it would be too difficult. On the contrary, his opponent's strength was also very strong. It had extremely strong penetrating power, and even a trace of the power of gravity came crushing down. The Netherworld Demon King finally understood why the other party dared to come here alone. He really had some tricks up his sleeves. Since when did the youngsters nowadays become so strong? This was completely different from what he had imagined. The two had already exchanged dozens of moves. In the blink of an eye, it had reached 100 moves. Of course, Lin Fei couldn't do anything to the Netherworld Demon King, but he had also let him know how powerful his infinite godly body was. The Netherworld Demon King was extremely speechless. His toxins were actually useless. Even with his strength, he couldn't do anything to this guy. Even though his opponent was injured and bleeding, he was still very strong. Such a guy was indeed a little difficult to deal with. It was giving him a headache. Whoosh! The Netherworld Demon King instantly retreated. Just then, he was hit again, and a series of cracks appeared on his body just like that. You actually have such an unconventional technique? Who on earth are you? Chapter 48-61. The Devil King of the Netherworld was injured again, but this time, he sensed a dangerous aura. This unknown young man was more powerful than he had imagined. Although his realm was not high, his means were indeed powerful. Moreover, he was a body cultivator, which was rare. My means are just SOSO. I really can't defeat a great expert like you. I just can't protect myself. Why don't we sit down and have a good chat? He had used the Great Karma skill just now. The Great Karma skill was indeed domineering. It directly injured the Devil King of the Netherworld. Lin Fei also laughed. The injury was not very serious. It could only be considered a minor injury. The Devil King of the Netherworld looked at this young man from head to toe. To be honest, he did not plan to fight anymore. This guy was indeed a bit difficult to deal with. Who knew if he had other means? What if I say no? Do you think a war god of 9 stars like me will sit down and have a chat with you? The Devil King of the Netherworld said coldly. Lin Fei laughed heartily. If you don't want to sit down and chat with me, then let's continue fighting. However, I don't think your situation is any better. Anyway, you can't do anything to me. If this fight is seen by outsiders, they'll say that you, a 9-star war god, can't take out a little brat. I reckon that you'll be the one who'll be embarrassed. How dare you? The Devil King of the Netherworld did not expect this young man to be so shameless. As a war god of 9 stars, he actually couldn't take down a brat. To be honest, it was really embarrassing. There's nothing to be afraid of. Besides, aren't there 2 9-star war gods nearby? If they see the situation here, they will probably laugh at you for not being strong enough, or that you are going easy on me. I know you are not going easy on me. However, I am not good at other things, but my life-saving skills are pretty good. Lin Fei laughed again. He did not believe that the Devil King of the Netherworld would be willing to continue fighting. Such a situation was absolutely impossible. The longer the fight went on, the more disadvantageous it would be. Lin Fei's infinite god body recovered exceptionally quickly. Therefore, if they were to fight, the unlucky one would be the other party. I think you're here for the 9 Abyss Frost Flower. If you help me with something, I'll give you the 9 Abyss Frost Flower. If you don't, there's nowhere else in the great world of gods where you can find it. The Netherworld Demon King didn't continue speaking. Instead, he spoke directly. He didn't believe that this young man wasn't here for the 9 Nether Frost Flower. And he was the only one who had the 9 Hell Frost Flower. This is a troublesome situation. Help the senior do something? Of course it's an honor, but I know it must be very difficult for you. Why don't we just forget it? I'm leaving now. From seeing the 9 Serenities Frost Flower to seeing the 9 Serenities Demon King? Lin Fei knew about it. In other words, it would be extremely difficult to obtain the 9 Nether Frost Flower. It wasn't that easy. Now, the Netherworld Demon King actually offered to make one for him. It wasn't a small matter. It wasn't a good thing to risk his life for a 9 Serenities Frost Flower. It would be better for Lin Fei to just leave. Leave? This time, it was the Netherworld Demon King's turn to be dumbfounded. He couldn't understand. Did this guy not want the 9 Serenities Frost Flower? Apart from him, there was nowhere else he could get it. You can't leave. It wasn't easy for an expert to come. The Netherworld Demon King? How could he let him leave? This guy? He was definitely a suitable choice. Where could he find another person like him after he left? Lin Fei wasn't surprised at all. He knew that the Netherworld Demon King had taken a fancy to his strength. This guy had actually run into a problem. I must leave. Do you think you can stop me? I might not be good at other things, but my escaping skills are top-notch. This was true. This caused the Netherworld Demon King's expression to turn even more unsightly. He didn't expect that he would actually be unable to handle this guy. His ability to survive was pretty strong. What if his escaping skills were also very strong? Others might not be able to do it, but this guy might really be able to do it? This was also something that the Netherworld Demon King was worried about. The thing that I need your help with isn't difficult. Don't you want to listen to it first? You can make your choice after listening to it. I think there's still time. The Netherworld Demon King was anxious. This guy was going to leave at this time? It would be difficult to find another person. In his opinion, this guy still had the ability to help him. Then tell me first. If it's too difficult, then forget it. Although I'm here for the 9 Serenities Frost Flower, it's not essential to me. It doesn't matter even if I can't get it. Don't you think so? There's no need to take risks for a life. The Netherworld Demon King was really unhappy that he had encountered such a guy. His realm wasn't high, but his strength was quite strange. He could control space and such a method. It was really unimaginable. In any case, he was a 9-star war god. Who knew how many people had entered, but they had all been killed in a few moves by him. However, this guy made him feel a little helpless. It was as if he had grown thorns all over his body. He was injured when he wasn't careful. He hadn't encountered such a feeling for a long time. The thing that I need your help with is simple. You and I will join forces to drive away the 2 war gods of 9 stars outside. It shouldn't be difficult, right? As long as you help me, I will naturally give you the 9 Serenities Frost Flower. The Netherworld Demon King stretched out his hand. A 9 Serenities Frost Flower actually appeared on his palm. This 9 Serenities Frost Flower was very beautiful. It was completely different from the previous one, but Lin Fei was sure that this was the 9 Serenities Frost Flower. Turned out that this guy had put it away. The 2 experts outside, could it be that you're not with them? That's interesting. It seems like you, the Demon King of the 9 underworlds, are really at a disadvantage. You're actually threatened by 2 9-star war gods. Previously, Lin Fei thought that the Netherworld Demon King had joined forces with the 2 war gods outside. However, the situation now seemed completely different. It was as if he was at a disadvantage. No wonder he wanted to join forces with me. This is quite troublesome. You also know that there are 2 war gods of 9 stars outside. I'm just a small guy with small arms and legs. I really can't beat them. Wait. I can give you the 9 Serenities Frost Flower first. You just need to help me hold back one of them. That should be fine, right? I'm very sincere. The Netherworld Demon King was even more anxious. If he left, it would be even more troublesome. Chapter 4862. Lin Fei was naturally interested in the 9 Nether Frost Flower. After all, this was what he had come here for. It would be best if he could bring it back. At the very least, he would be able to have a good chat with the Great Tang Emperor and find out the location of the God's restaurant. He had no choice. The God's restaurant was quite mysterious. Since the Great Tang Emperor knew about it, he definitely knew about it. Perhaps this 9 Nether Demon King knew about it too. Lin Fei had no way of asking about it. The 9 Nether Demon King did not seem like an easy person to deal with. Unless the 2 of them had a pleasant cooperation, it would be really dangerous. From the moment the 9 Nether Demon King took out the 9 Nether Frost Flower, Lin Fei knew that this 9 Nether Demon King had suffered a lot at the hands of the 2 war gods. That was why he wanted to cooperate with him. The 9 Serenities Frost Flower is dispensable to me. If it's just this, it's still not enough. After all, those 2 are 9-star war god. With my small arms and legs, how can I defeat them? Lin Fei shook his head. He would not agree to the 9 Nether Demon King so easily. Then I gave you the 9 Hellfrost Flower in advance. I'm already treating you pretty well. Don't push your luck. Don't think that I can't deal with you. The 9 Nether Demon King was a little unhappy. If it was not for the fact that this fellow was quite capable, he would not have taken the initiative to take out the 9 Nether Frost Flower. Lin Fei turned and left without another word. Then come and deal with me if you can. I am not going to argue with you anymore. It's just the 9 Nether Frost Flower. At most, I don't want it. Just treat it as a holiday and broaden my horizons. At least I know that the 9 Nether Demon King is not as strong as I thought. Seeing that the other party was about to leave, the 9 Nether Demon King's expression changed. Why did this fella not follow the script? At least give me a condition. If I leave just like that, when will I see such a promising young man? As for those 9 Stars War Gods, forget about it. They did not have the guts to enter at this time. The 2 9 Stars War Gods were not easy to deal with. Wait, tell me what you want. As long as I can take it out, I will naturally fulfill your wish. The Netherworld Demon King flicked his finger, and the Netherworld Frost Flower floated over. He walked all the way to the front of Lin Fei. This fellow was actually very straightforward, directly sending over the 9 Nether Frost Flower. Even Lin Fei was a little surprised. This guy was a little different from what he had imagined. He was a guy with a bit of courage. Lin Fei stretched out his hand and grabbed the 9 Nether Demon Flower. This 9 Nether Frost Flower was indeed filled with the aura of the 9 Nether. At the same time, it contained a terrifying chill that attacked him in an instant. However, Lin Fei's physical body was already very strong. Therefore, he was able to withstand it easily. This also proved that the 9 Hellfrost Flower was genuine and not a scam. The Netherworld Demon King was indeed quite sincere. That's right. At least I saw some benefits. Otherwise, I would have turned around and left right now. At least, we can have a good talk now. The Netherworld Demon King instantly heaved a sigh of relief after getting the 9 Nether Frost Flower. This guy was really difficult to deal with. However, a 9 Hellfrost Flower made him stay. It was quite worth it. This guy could still be communicated with, although he had a bit of a temper. I have taken the thing, but I still have to make 3 small requests. As long as you can fulfill them, I will naturally help you to hold back one of the 9 Stars War Gods, so that you can deal with the other War God calmly. This is what I said. I am quite a trustworthy person. I am not like some people who cultivate an incarnation and specialize in ambushing people. The Netherworld Demon King's face instantly turned ugly. He stared at Lin Fei coldly. Lin Fei did not take it seriously. It was just a stare. It would not hurt him at all. He could stare at it for as long as he wanted. He did not have any other thoughts. 3 requests, just 3. No more. Otherwise, I would rather not cooperate with you. Isn't it just waiting for someone? I can wait for them sooner or later. This was the limit of the Netherworld Demon King. If there were a few more requests, he would definitely not be happy. After all, he was a 9 Stars War God, a powerful existence. He had already put down his pride by making such a compromise. After all, this guy in front of him was indeed capable. The first request is quite simple. I want to know the location of the God's restaurant. Do you know where it is? Lin Fei asked directly. The God's restaurant? The Netherworld Demon King's face instantly changed. His entire body trembled. He looked at the young man in front of him from head to toe. I did not expect you to know about the God's restaurant. That is not simple. However, it is a pity that I am not very familiar with this place. There are very few people who know about the God's restaurant, and I do not have the qualifications. I am unable to fulfill your first request. This time, it was Lin Fei's turn to be a little shocked. It was hard to believe that he did not know the location of the God's restaurant. You are a 9 Stars War God after all. However, I can give you a small hint. The location of the god's restaurant might only be known by the emperors of the 3 super empires. This news was more or less good for Lin Fei. At the very least, it was very likely that the great Tang emperor knew the location. I will believe you this once. If you don't know, then so be it. Then my second request is even simpler. I want the power of faith. Lin Fei did not forget what was the most important part of his cultivation. That was the power of faith. With enough power of faith, he could do a lot of things. You actually want the power of faith? You want to become a god in a different way. The Netherworld Demon King's expression changed again. He did not dare to imagine that this guy was actually trying to become a god in a different way. Does he not know that it is a dead end? I am interested in the power of faith. As long as you give me the power of faith, everything is negotiable. Don't say that you can't fulfill the second request. If that is the case, we can forget about this cooperation. The Netherworld Demon King could not see through Lin Fei at all. He even wanted the power of faith and the location of the god's restaurant. This young man must have some background. I really did collect some power of faith. I can give it to you now. Balls of golden energy flew out. After flying out, Lin Fei squinted his eyes. It was the genuine power of faith. This 9 stars war god of the Netherworld Demon King did have some status. It was not a bad thing to be thick-skinned. Chapter 4863. Lin Fei's heart leaped with joy when he saw the balls of faith power flying out of his body. Sure enough, this Hades Demon King still had some foundation. After collecting so much power of faith, it was not a good thing for the Demon Kings of the Netherworld. It was an existence of little value, and it was dispensable. But for Lin Fei, it was of great use. Actually, the Netherworld Demon King was quite happy in his heart. He did not expect this guy to want this faith power. If it was something else, it would be hard for him to say. This thing was really useless to him. He had only destroyed some natives' god of faith. He had seized their faith power. He did not expect it to come in handy today. There was no pressure on the second small condition. Lin Fei put away the faith power. It instantly turned into honor points. His honor points instantly skyrocketed again. Although this guy did not have much faith power, it was actually quite a lot. A ding-dong sound rang out. Lin Fei's infinite god body directly rushed from the 35th level to the 36th level, which was an increase of 1 level. Such a rapid increase caused Lin Fei's physical body to change greatly. Although it was just a simple increase, the effect was still very obvious. The Hades Demon King was slightly stunned. He could clearly feel that the young man in front of him seemed to give him a trace of dangerous aura. It was much heavier than before. He was secretly puzzled. What's going on? Could it be that he was wrong? Logically speaking, it was impossible. Could it be that this guy was hiding his strength? Good heavens, this guy is not as simple as I thought. He is still hiding a lot of secret. Fortunately, I discovered it. Therefore, he was even more glad that he did not fight with this guy. Otherwise, he would have been the one to suffer. Thank you for your faith power. The power of faith allowed Lin Fei's infinite god body to improve by another level. Of course, he had to thank the Hades Demon King. This way, he would have a greater chance of restraining the war god of the 9 stars. What about your third small condition? He had completed the second small requirement, but he didn't need anything to complete this requirement. It was quite a sense of accomplishment. As for the third small condition, Lin Fei really hadn't thought of what he wanted. In fact, he still hoped for the power of faith. He also knew that it would be very difficult to get the Demon King of the Netherworld to give him the power of faith. He didn't want the Netherworld Demon King to think that the power of faith was of great use to him. This last small request is actually not that difficult. When I want to deal with the war god of 9 stars, you can just attack once. What do you think of this small request? Lin Fei also quickly said. This was the fastest method he could think of. The Netherworld Demon King furrowed his brows slightly. This was beyond his imagination. He didn't expect that this guy would actually ask him to help deal with the 9 Stars War God. Speaking of which, such a small request wasn't difficult at all. It sounded very simple, so he agreed without much thought. No problem. It's not difficult to help you once. A piece of scale fell and directly flew in front of Lin Fei. This is my token. As long as you push it, I will be able to sense it and come over immediately. Lin Fei directly put it away. He believed what the Netherworld Demon King said. Although this guy was quite shameless, as long as he had the strength, he would definitely help him once. It was indeed not easy for the War God of 9 Stars to find a helper. It's a pleasure working with you. I can help you now. Lin Fei was very straightforward. The Netherworld Demon King finally heaved a sigh of relief. He had finally reached an agreement. No matter how he thought about it, he didn't lose anything. He only paid a Netherworld Frost Flower. Even some useless power of faith in addition to helping him once felt that it was a good deal. The Netherworld Demon King felt that he had gained a great deal. Lin Fei also felt that he had gained a great deal. In this way, the two of them cooperated for the first time. The 2 9-star war gods we have to deal with this time, one is called San Yuan, the other is called Si He. These 2 people are quite capable, they belong to 2 empires. The Netherworld Demon King directly left this place. The 2 of them walked side by side. While walking, he explained the situation. In the blink of an eye, the 2 of them approached the range of the formation. At this time, there was a huge movement there. The battle seemed to have begun. Even Lin Fei was a little surprised. It seemed that the situation inside was a little different from what he had imagined. At first, he thought that Lu Yu would definitely be in big trouble if he broke into the formation. But now it seemed that he had underestimated these people. He didn't expect that there was a hidden expert here. Song Bai, I didn't expect that the most trusted confidant of the Tang Emperor would come here. It's a pity that you met us. This time, you can't escape. Under our cooperation, you can't escape. I believe that the Tang Emperor will feel sorry for you for a long time if we kill you. After all, you are a great war god of the Tang Empire. You can be regarded as his right-hand man. 2 people's voices came from inside the formation. They sounded very proud. The Netherworld Demon King said, "This Song Bai is the confidant of the Tang Emperor. He can be regarded as his right-hand man. He is a war god of 9 stars and a very powerful machete man. I didn't expect that he would come here in person. It seems that he wants the Netherworld Frozen Flower." Lin Fei knew that he had misjudged them. He didn't expect that there was such a hidden expert. They were really different. I will choose one of the 2 war gods at random. You can deal with the other one. With Song Bai, you should be able to suppress this war god. Maybe you can even kill him. Lin Fei laughed and directly rushed into the formation. The Netherworld Demon King also followed him in. Lu Yu and the others had passed out. They were protected by a treasure. In addition, 2 war gods were besieging a machete man. The macheteman's saber turned into layers of defense in his hand. For a moment, the 2 war gods couldn't hold him. Lin Fei could see that Song Bai's machete man seemed to be injured, and the injury was getting more and more serious. Netherworld Demon King, why are you here? What do you mean by this? The Trinity War God's gaze landed on the Netherworld Demon King. The other war god fixed his eyes on Lin Fei. Nothing. I just want to kill you here. This is my territory. It's not your place to be presumptuous. Chapter 48-64. The hatred of the Devil King of the Underworld was not ordinary. As soon as he saw the 2 war gods, he immediately made his move and locked onto the 6 Unity War God. The 6 Unity War God was also very powerful. In the blink of an eye, the 2 of them started fighting. The 3 Origin War God's gaze fell on the young man. Previously, he thought that there was a young man who went in. He did not expect that this guy would be able to negotiate a cooperation with the Devil King of the Underworld. He was really capable. Are you going to surrender obediently, or do you want me to kill you? How dare you join forces with the Devil King of the Underworld? I really don't know who gave you such courage." The three Origin War God sneered and waved his hand. A ray of light shot over. This ray of light was called the Divine Light of Destruction. It was very terrifying. As soon as it came over, it shrouded the area where Lin Fei was, turning it into nothingness in the blink of an eye. A technique like this had already reached the might of a 9-star war god. Any war god would be killed in the face of such a radiance. It was too difficult to survive. "I'm sorry, there are some men who want to kill me. Although you are a 9 stars war god, I'm not good at other things, but I'm good at staying alive." Lin Fei's figure came over with a whoosh and directly surrounded the three Origin war god and attacked. Unlike others, Lin Fei's attack was purely a close-range method. He threw one punch after another. Only in this way could his fist technique be domineering, fierce, and penetrative. The three Origin war god was careless and suffered a loss. He really underestimated this guy's ability. He finally understood why such a ruthless guy like the Devil King of the Underworld would choose to cooperate with such a person. It was really hard to believe that they would directly surround him. Bang, 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 bang. In an instant, Lin Fei unleashed his technique. One punch after another, there was no pause at all. The three Origin war god kept retreating. Even though some of his methods were blasted over, they were all destroyed by the opponent. Not far away, War God Songbai was also slightly stunned. He didn't expect that the Netherworld Demon King would join forces with a young man to launch an attack. Moreover, that young man was someone he didn't know. Since when did such a powerful expert appear in the younger generation? He had originally thought that he would die here, but now it seemed that not only would he not die here, but he would also be able to give these two fellows a heavy blow. "Young man, let me help you!" Songbai, the god of war, shouted and came over. However, halfway through, he saw a force spread across the sky and stopped him. "I don't need you here. I haven't fought with the 9 stars war god in a long time. I want to see how strong he is. If you want to help, go play with the demons of the underworld." As soon as the power came, Songbai felt some resistance. This barrier was also filled with a terrifying chill, and it kept seeping in. This caused his eyes to light up. This young man really has a lot of means. Without any hesitation, he directly joined the battle of the Netherworld Demon Kings. Lu He was originally able to suppress the 9 underworlds Demon King by himself. Now that Battle God Songbai had appeared, the situation was completely different. San Yuan couldn't free his hands either, because the opponent's means were really powerful. From time to time, he launched some physical attack. For example, the move of mind projection had made him suffer a few times, and he couldn't resist it at all. If he wasn't the war god of 9 stars, he would definitely be defeated by this guy, and he wouldn't even be able to keep his life. How about it? My means are pretty good, right? I advise you to behave yourself and watch the show. Lin Fei performed mind projection again. This time, San Yuan was prepared, so the injury wasn't very serious, but it still made his face very ugly. At the same time, he didn't have time to free his hands at all. This guy's attacks were endless, and his strength didn't weaken at all. This was the most difficult thing to bear. He knew that it was too difficult to deal with this young man today, even if he killed the Netherworld Demon Kings. If things went wrong, the two of them would suffer a big loss. "Brat, I'll remember you. You ruined our plan today, and you'll regret it sooner or later." San Yuan War God directly took out a scroll and tore it open. With a whoosh, he fled and disappeared without a trace. On the other side, the War God of 6 Directions did the same. After a feint, he also took out a scroll and left. However, before he left, he stared at Lin Fei fiercely, and then left just like that. In the blink of an eye, the two great experts left, and at the same time, Lu Yu and the others were also taken away. The surroundings became empty. Netherworld Demon Kings, I've helped you restrain them, but it's a pity that you couldn't kill the War God of 9 stars. Do you feel regretful? Lin Fei turned around and smiled at the Netherworld Demon Kings. At this time, the Netherworld Demon Kings felt very satisfied. Of course, they also felt a little regretful that they didn't kill one of them. Otherwise, they would definitely be greatly injured. It's really a pity, but it's not bad to let them leave in embarrassment. After all, the War God of 9 stars is not so easy to kill. The Netherworld Demon Kings turned into a large mass of black fog, which spread to the surroundings. Only a rumbling sound could be heard. The array that was set up here was destroyed by him. Then, all the parts of the array flew over and landed in his hand. Since everything is settled, I'll leave now. We'll talk about other things in the future. Lin Fei also used teleportation, and with a whoosh, he left. This time, the Netherworld Demon King didn't stop him, and just let Lin Fei leave. War God Song Bai didn't leave. This time, he came for the Netherworld Frost Flower. Song Bai, I know you are the confidant of the Tang Emperor. If I'm not mistaken, you are here for the Netherworld Frost Flower. War God Song Bai did come for the Netherworld Frost Flower. He thought he had no chance this time because he was blocked by the 2 great experts. He didn't expect that the Netherworld Demon King actually took action and drove them away. Our Emperor said that as long as you can give us a Netherworld Frost Flower, he will owe you a favor. War God Song Bai said. The Netherworld Demon King laughed heartily. A favor from the Emperor of the Great Tang is indeed very valuable, but you're too late. The 9 Nether Frost Flower has already been taken by that young man. You should also know that the 9 Nether Frost Flower is no ordinary flower. Since I've given you one, I won't give you a second one. What did you give to that young man? Chapter 4865. Lin Fei exited the 9th secluded land and came out with a few greater teleportation technique. For him, his speed was quite fast. As soon as he stepped out, a figure caught up with him. His speed was quite fast. Lin Fei didn't need to guess to know who it was. It should be War God Song Bai. He didn't expect him to be so fast. He probably knew from the Devil King that he had the 9 Hell Frost Flower. It was absolutely impossible to obtain a second 9 Hell Frost Flower from the Demon King of the 9 Hell. Lin Fei could more or less understand the temper of the Demon King of the 9 Hell. Young man, wait a minute. Young man, wait a minute. Song Bai, the god of war, chased after him and almost lost him. This young man's movement speed was also quite fast. Fortunately, he finally caught up. He knew from the Devil King that the 9 Hell Frost Flower was with this young man. He didn't dare to stay any longer and directly caught up. He was afraid that if he delayed for a while, he wouldn't know where this person was going. The 9 Hell Frost Flower had a magical effect on detoxification. If this person didn't take it to the Great Tang Empire, it would be a big trouble. Young man, wait a minute. Young man, wait a minute. Lin Fei stopped. In the blink of an eye, War God Song Bai also caught up. He stopped not far away. I heard that the 9 Hell Frost Flower is with you. What conditions do you need to be willing to hand over the 9 Hell Frost Flower? Song Bai was very straightforward. He had to be straightforward at this time. Otherwise, if the other party had any ideas, it would be difficult to get the 9 Hell Frost Flower. This guy's strength was also unfathomable. So far, he couldn't think of such a powerful expert in Jiangnan. This person was definitely a 9 stars war god. Even if he wasn't, he was at least an 8 stars war god. I have other uses for the 9 Hell Frost Flower. Anyway, the Devil King has a lot of it. Why don't you ask him for it? Of course, Lin Fei would use the 9 Hell Frost Flower to save the princess. However, Lin Fei definitely wouldn't say that at this time. He had to make sure that the 9 Hell Frost Flower was important. The god of war Song Bai's heart skipped a beat. This was not good news, but definitely bad news. Thinking about it, it made sense. Since the other party had taken the 9 Nether Frost Flower, it was impossible for him to really save the palace master. Although the princesses of the Great Tang were worth a lot of money, with their strength and cultivation, they naturally wouldn't be interested in such a princess. Just look at how he dared to make a move against a three-origin war god. One could only imagine what kind of situation he was in. The other party was confident in his own strength. Snatching the 9 nether frost flower from him was too difficult. Our Great Tang Empire sincerely wants the 9 Hellfrost flower? What if I can get another one from the Demon King of the Netherworld? Naturally, I wouldn't come looking for you. I really had no other choice. Could you please state a condition? Our Great Tang Empire will definitely accomplish it. This was the only thing Song Bai could say. Lin Fei also laughed. Your Great Tang Empire really cares about the 9 nether frost flower. It's not very useful to me. I heard that the princess of your Great Tang Empire was poisoned and needed the 9 nether frost flower to detoxify her. I wonder if it's true. To tell you the truth? It's true. Our palace master was indeed injured and poisoned. So I came to get the 9 nether frost flower, but I was trapped by the 3 origin and 6 direction war gods. If you didn't help me, I'm afraid I would be dead now. The god of war Song Bai started to tell Zhang Tai sincerely. No matter what, the other party would stop. Then it was very likely that he could get the 9 nether frost flower. If you think it's not reasonable here, you can go to the Great Tang Empire with me. At that time, let the Emperor of the Great Tang, namely His Majesty, talk to you about this matter. I think he will definitely give you something that will satisfy you. Now that the negotiation was not good, Song Bai certainly couldn't rob it. So the best way was to invite this young man to the Great Tang Empire as a guest, and then let His Majesty talk to the young man. This was more likely. The Emperor of the Great Tang was a great master in the Jiangnan area. He was a top master. Which of those who could meet His Majesty was not a real god's favored one? A top master. Wasn't Lin Fei's ultimate goal to meet the Emperor of the Great Tang? He knew the location of the god's restaurant from him. I heard that the Emperor of the Tang Empire is a top master. I wonder how much stronger he is than the 3 origin war god and the 6 direction war god? I'm in the mood to have a fight with him. Lin Fei laughed. That war god Song Bai was shocked again. It turned out that this young man was a martial arts fanatic. No wonder he dared to fight against the 3 origin war god alone. As a result, the 3 origin war god suffered a loss and was injured. What if this news spread out? The whole Jiangnan area would be shocked. If His Majesty knows that you went there, he will be very happy. Anyway, war god Song Bai was a little relieved. It seemed that this young man was not so difficult to deal with. He could still talk to him. Okay, then I'll go to the Great Tang Empire with you. I heard that the Great Tang Empire is one of the 3 super empires in the Jiangnan area. I've always heard about it, but I've never been there. After a laugh, Lin Fei went to the Great Tang Empire with war god Song Bai. The Great Tang Empire was very, very big, and there were many masters. They arrived at the capital of the Great Tang Empire. There were countless experts there. Furthermore, there was also a super array formation. Even Lin Fei couldn't help but give it a thumbs up in his heart after taking a look at it. The Great Tang Empire was really powerful, especially the capital. Even 7 or 8 9-stars war gods couldn't break this super formation. With this super formation, the capital was as stable as Mount Tai. At the same time, Lin Fei also felt a super strong aura. The strong aura surpassed that of the 3 origin war god and the 6 unity war god. Even the Devil King of the 9 serenities was far inferior to him. This was a top master. It seems that I should be able to get a lot of power of faith in this trip to the Great Tang Empire. At that time, I will be able to reach the 40th stage of the infinite divine body in one go. The chances are still very high. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes slightly. He hadn't seen the person yet, but he was already thinking about the power of faith. War God Song Bai led Lin Fei into the imperial palace. The imperial palace was also full of masters. Many hidden auras were in the void. Anyone who came in would be attacked directly, even if it was a 9 stars war god. Chapter 4866. Along the way, Lin Fei knew that the Great Tang Empire was indeed very powerful. It was no wonder that it could become one of the 3 super empires in the Jiangnan region. Not only were there many experts, but there were also a few super experts. Coupled with the super array, the influence was naturally different. Lin Fei was taken to the royal palace by Song Bai. They arrived at a very luxurious and honorable place in the palace. There were many palaces here. Sir, please rest here first. I will report to His Majesty and come back to inform you when the time comes. The God of War Song Bai didn't take Lin Fei to see His Majesty. After all, this was not a small matter, and Her Majesty was very busy every day, so she had to report it first. Lin Fei naturally had no objections. Just like that, he stayed in this palace for a while. The interior and exterior of this palace were very luxurious, and the spirit energy was especially rich. If there was no accident, this should be used to entertain distinguished guests. Not long after Lin Fei arrived, someone came up. There was a young man in the next palace. He had a head full of white hair, and seemed to have experienced the vicissitudes of life. However, his strength was indeed quite strong. He was actually an 8-star war god. That was quite rare at this age. My friend, I'm sorry to disturb you so abruptly. I hope you don't mind. I see that you've just arrived. Don't tell me you're here to participate in the Imperial Secret Realm with me. The white-haired young man took the initiative to speak as soon as he came over. He also had a friendly smile on his face. This was a misunderstanding. When Lin Fei heard this, he knew that this young man had misunderstood. He wasn't here to participate in the Imperial Secret Territory, but since it was called the Imperial Secret Territory, it couldn't be a small place. He knew better than anyone else why this white-haired young man would come looking for him. If nothing went wrong, he was going to get a helper for himself. People nowadays were getting smarter and smarter. Even an 8-star war god was thinking of recruiting people. It seemed that the Imperial Secret Realm was not as simple as it seemed. You've misunderstood. I'm not here to participate in the Royal Secret Realm. The white-haired young man was a little surprised. After all, not everyone could live in this place. Without any status or background, they could only live outside. They were all distinguished guests, but they weren't here to participate in the Imperial Secret Territory. The East Rising War God was indeed surprised. Sorry. I thought you were here to participate in the Imperial Secret Realm. I'm sorry for disturbing you. Hearing that he was not here to participate in the Imperial Secret Territory, the East-coming war god bade farewell and prepared to leave. It also gave him a little impression of this young man. It was indeed rare for someone so young to be able to come to this palace. I've just arrived as well, and I'm feeling bored. Why don't we sit down and have a chat? Who knows, we might be able to kill some time. Lin Fei had come here to obtain the power of faith. He wasn't very concerned about other things, but he was very free at the moment. Since someone had come over, he might as well chat with them. The East Rising War God was slightly stunned. He smiled, cupped his hands, and sat down. I am the East Arrival War Immortal. Lin Fei also laughed. Lin Mu. It was more or less necessary to use a fake name when going out. Even if there was a huge commotion over there, Lin Fei still used it. This name was quite common. Last time, he used Yi Xian. This time, Lin Fei directly used the name Lin Mu. The Southeast War God didn't remember any young man called Lin Mu, but he didn't think too much about it. I saw that there were people in the surrounding palaces. Are they all here to participate in the Imperial Secret Realm? Lin Fei also asked casually. The Southeast War God didn't have anything to do either. Just now, he saw people move in, so he came over. So the two of them chatted and laughed. Mr. Zilong, this is the palace I've arranged for you. What do you think? This is the best palace in the Imperial Secret Territory. Suddenly, footsteps came from outside. Then they heard voices, and then a group of people walked in. As soon as they walked in, they saw that there were two people chatting and laughing. Someone scolded them on the spot. "Who are you? Who's here? This is for VIPs." This voice interrupted the conversation between the two of them. Lin Fei was really happy. He didn't expect to hear so many secrets again. This East Rising War God was indeed interested in befriending him, so the two of them seemed to be having a pleasant conversation as they chatted. Suddenly interrupted by someone, the East Rising War God immediately turned around with a cold look in his eyes. "Who are you? Who let you come here?" The East Rising Battle God said coldly. With a glance, the hearts of everyone present trembled a little. The person who scolded him just now also recognized him. "You are the East Coming War God." The East Coming War God had a great reputation. After all, he had reached the level of an 8-star war god at such a young age. It could be said that he was the idol of the younger generation. "I am the third prince. I arranged this place for Mr. Zilong. I don't remember it being arranged for you, the East Coming War God." A young man in a yellow robe came up and greeted the East Coming War God. Although this person's level was not high, only at the level of a 7-star war god, with his identity as the third prince, it was different. Even the purple-robed young man called Mr. Zilong stared at the East Coming War God. The East Coming War God had obviously heard of the third prince. This guy could be considered a martial arts fanatic, and his strength was also very strong. He was a 7-star war god, and it was said that he had cultivated the unique skills of the royal family. He was very powerful, and even an 8-star war god might not be able to take him down easily. "Indeed, I am not staying here. But because of what I said just now, I am a little unhappy. Is the third prince going to kick me out? Then I would like to ask your majesty, we are here to participate in the royal secret realm. Can't we just drop by?" Although the East Coming War God was afraid of the third prince, he did not play along with him. Instead, he asked directly. They were all here to participate in the royal secret realm. As the third prince, he was not qualified to say such things. "Ha ha ha, as expected of the East Coming War God, you have a temper. I have heard of you for a long time. I hope I can have a chance to learn from you this time. My name is Zilong." The purple-robed Mr. Zilong stared at the East Coming War God with an eager look. Lin Fei just sat there quietly. The accommodation arranged by War God Song Bai was a little unreliable. It was obvious that someone was eyeing this palace. How could it be possible for Lin Fei to leave? "Hey, Battle God Song Bai allowed me to live in this palace. Are you going to kick me out? If so, you'd better ask Battle God Song Bai for permission first." Lin Fei stood up as well. Chapter 4867. Hearing Lin Fei's words, both the third prince and Child Zilong slightly changed their expressions. Of course they knew War Immortal Song Bai, who was a top master in the Tang Empire. They didn't expect that this young man lived here because of War Immortal Song Bai. Even the third prince's expression changed slightly, and he was a little suspicious. War Immortal Song Bai was so elusive that it was hard for them to see him on normal days. What was the background of this guy? They wanted to refute, but the third prince knew that if this guy was really arranged by War Immortal Song Bai to stay here, they would offend War Immortal Song Bai if they kicked him out. If they really caused trouble, they would definitely suffer. Lin Fei continued to laugh. "I know you won't believe me. Anyway, I'm here. Either you leave or you kick me out. You have to be prepared for what will happen next. Don't say I didn't warn you." The East Arrival Immortal Song Bai was also slightly stunned. He didn't expect that this young man actually lived here because of War Immortal Song Bai. Everyone knew that War Immortal Song Bai was a 9 stars War Immortal. He was a top master in the Tang Empire, and also the right-hand man of the Emperor. Everyone knew him. The third prince and Child Zilong both looked terrible. "What's your name?" I'd like to get to know you, in case I make a mistake. The third prince obviously didn't continue to ask. No matter whether this guy was War Immortal Song by or not, he couldn't continue to ask. But he could remember this guy's name and his background. He could arrange someone to check it out as soon as possible. You're not qualified to know my name. Get out. Lin Fei smiled faintly and poured himself another cup of tea. He poured himself another cup of tea. The third prince had never thought that he would be ignored by a young man like this. The blue veins on his hands were slightly bulging, and he took back his hand. Child Zilong, I'm sorry, I'll change a place for you. They didn't say anything and directly walked out. The third prince didn't forget one important thing, which was to arrange someone to keep an eye on this place. He wanted to see if this guy was sent here by the god of war Songbai. If not, then he would have to face the wrath of the third prince. Brother Lin, you're amazing. You drove the third prince out just like that. This guy is quite narrow-minded. You have to be careful. And that Zilong is the same. The East Rising War God reminded with a smile. Don't worry, they're just a bunch of ants. When it's time to make a move, I'll just slap them to death. Lin Fei said casually. In his eyes, both the third prince and young Master Zilong were just ants. Of course, it was just a matter of strength. The war god of the southeast had to give in to this Lin Mu. He really had a lot of guts. The more he looked at him, the more mysterious his identity and background became. He even managed to get close to war god Songbai. The East Rising war god sat there for a while before leaving. He had to investigate Lin Mu's background. If he didn't have a certain background, he probably wouldn't dare to offend the third prince. And he even offended young Master Zilong. Both of them had a high status and background. In the evening, war god Songbai came over. He didn't let Lin Fei wait for too long. He knew that war god Songbai wouldn't delay him. I've already told His Majesty. His Majesty wants to see you and have a good talk with you. Please come with me. Lin Fei and war god Songbai left the palace just like that. As soon as they left, the third prince received the news. He didn't forget about this matter. It was because of this guy that he lost his face. If he didn't find out this guy's background, he would never be able to vent his anger. So after he came back, he really did investigate. The more he investigated, the more he felt that this young man had a very mysterious background. There was no record of him at all. However, many people said that he came in with war god Songbai. Could it be that this guy was war god Songbai's new disciple? If this was the case, it could be explained. After all, war god Songbai didn't have many disciples. If he was a talented disciple, it would be a different story. This made the third prince very unhappy. If he was really a disciple, it would be very difficult to deal with him. Although war god Songbai didn't talk much, he was very resourceful. His father especially appreciated him. These things couldn't be confirmed yet. Only after receiving the news could it be confirmed. Hearing the news, the third prince smiled bitterly. He didn't expect that this guy really had a relationship with war god Songbai. He left in a hurry. It would be difficult for the third prince to vent his anger, so the third prince decided to give up. At most, he would slowly collect this guy's information. This was also the third prince's favorite thing to do. Lin Fei and war god Songbai went all the way to the garden. This place was very big. Lin Fei even heard the sound of water. Then a huge lake appeared in front of him. Good heavens, a big trick was used to put a lake here. There seemed to be many monsters in the lake, which were the so-called fish monsters. All of them were not weak. That's Your Majesty. Your Majesty's favorite thing to do is fishing. War god Songbai said in a low voice. In front of Lin Fei's sight, there stood a middle-aged man in a dragon robe. He was fishing quietly with a pole in his hand. There was no bait on the pole, but when he lifted it, a fish monster really came out. It looked fierce. With a tap of the pole, the fish monster completely calmed down. Your Majesty, he's here. War god Songbai walked over and said in a low voice. The middle-aged man waved his hand, and the fish monster went back into the water. It was like an amnesty. Then he turned around. Lin Fei also saw this middle-aged man. His entire body was brimming with a dense and boundless aura. This was a top-notch expert. He was even stronger than the 9 underworlds Demon King and the 2 9-star war gods from before. He was definitely at the peak of the 9 stars war god. He was even half a step away from the level of 10 stars. He was still powerful. "Greetings, Your Majesty." Lin Fei also cupped his hands. Lin Fei did not address them as seniors. In terms of lifespan, Lin Fei was not inferior to these people. In fact, he was even older than them. "You're young and promising. No wonder you could get the 9 Serenities frozen flower from the Devil King of 9 Serenities. Just tell me what you want. There are many good things in the Tang Empire." Chapter 48-68. The Tang Emperor was quite straightforward. Of course, Lin Fei liked straightforward people. After all, this was the Tang Emperor, a top expert. He was straightforward, and so did Lin Fei. "I like straightforward people. Since Your Majesty has told me so directly, I won't stand on ceremony. This 9 nether frozen flower is really useless to me, so it's not a problem for me to take it out." Lin Fei laughed, and a 9 nether frozen flower appeared in his hand. It was the 9 nether frozen flower that the Demon King of the 9 nether gave him the most. The Tang Emperor laughed. "You're quite interesting. Aren't you afraid that I'll take your 9 nether frozen flower away? After all, this is my territory." Great Tang Emperor, as one of the top experts of the Jiangnan region, you definitely won't make a move on a 9 hell frost flower. You can't afford to lose that much face. Moreover, even if you did make a move, you might not be able to snatch it away. Even though the Great Tang Emperor was a top-notch expert, Lin Fei still spoke as usual. The Tang Emperor suddenly burst into laughter. Even war god Song Bai on the side admired the courage of this guy for daring to say such words. No one had ever dared to say such words in front of the Tang Emperor. "What I want is quite simple. Your Tang Empire definitely has it. That is the land of faith." Lin Fei laughed. "The power of faith?" The Tang Emperor was a little surprised. He had already calculated what the other party wanted, but he never expected that this guy only wanted the power of faith. This was something of little value. Could it be that this fellow used the power of faith to cultivate? If that was the case, it would make sense. "You're really different. Others want cultivation methods or top treasures, but I can get them easily. You're different. You want the power of faith. You're quite interesting." Even Song Bai didn't expect that this guy wanted the power of faith. This thing was indeed rare, but in the Tang Empire, the power of faith was really not a rare thing. There was such a thing in the treasure house. Then we can cooperate happily. I believe the Tang Emperor won't let me down. Anyway, the power of faith is useless in your treasure house. You might as well give it to me. Maybe you can get a future ally. The Great Tang Emperor burst into laughter once more. "It seems that you are very confident in your own strength." Balls of golden light flew out just like that. It turned out that the Tang Emperor carried the power of faith with him. The power of faith that flew out arrived in front of Lin Fei. It was very dense, much denser than the power of faith that he had obtained from the Demon King of the 9 underworlds. There was no way to compare. The Demon Kings of the Netherworld were different from the Great Tang Emperor. He had already founded the Great Tang Empire, the Super Empire of Jiangnan. Accumulation and foundation were naturally different. The Great Tang Emperor is indeed straightforward. I am quite satisfied with the power of faith. I hope there will be such good things in the future and we can continue working together. With a wave of his hand, Lin Fei collected the power of faith and followed the 9 Hellfrost flower. He was not afraid that the Great Tang Emperor would play any trick. Now that the power of faith was in his hands, there was nothing for him to worry about. In the blink of an eye, the power of faith turned into a large amount of honor point. It was rising rapidly. The corners of his mouth also rose slightly. The 9 Hell Frost Flower was also in the hands of the great Tang Emperor. With a flip of his hand, he kept it. I heard that you can withstand the attack of a 3-element war god. I wonder if you have any thoughts of helping me with something. I think you won't reject this as a reward. The great Tang Emperor stretched out his hand, and balls of power of faith flew out again. Lin Fei's eyes narrowed slightly. Good Lord, the great Tang Emperor is indeed the great Tang Emperor. I actually fell into a little trap unknowingly. This guy did not give me all the power of faith. Of course, this was also within Lin Fei's expectations. He was indeed a cunning old fox. If it was anything else, Lin Fei would not be interested. However, the power of faith was different. For him, the power of faith would definitely be of great help. The power of faith that he had just obtained could improve his infinite divine body. It could improve by at least 2 levels, close to 3. In other words, his infinite divine body had improved from 36 levels to 38 levels, close to 39 levels. If he took all the power of faith from the great Tang Emperor, it was highly likely that he would be able to break through to 40 levels. He had reached a new height. There was probably no one in the history of the Infinite Sect who had such an achievement. Great Tang Emperor, you're so boring. You actually held back. Do you know that I'm very unhappy? Lin Fei said with a smile. The great Tang Emperor burst into laughter again. He felt that this young man was more interesting. In the blink of an eye, the power of faith that was sent out lost connection. A terrifying force had directly cut off the connection. There was no resistance at all. However, the great Tang Emperor could not see anything. This young man did not do anything from the beginning to the end. He was filled with many secrets. As long as you do one thing for me, I can give you all the power of faith first. I believe you have no objections, right? You're the first person who can make me say something like this. This time, it was Lin Fei's turn to be surprised. This great Tang Emperor was really different. Such boldness was rare. No wonder he could become a top-notch expert. He actually dared to give the power of faith to Lin Fei first. To Lin Fei, if he really gave the power of faith to Lin Fei, his infinite divine body would reach 40 levels. By then, his physical strength would be even stronger. It would be easier for him to fight against 9 stars experts. Basically, ordinary 9-star war immortals were no match for him. Even if he were to face 2 or 3 ordinary 9-star war immortals in one go, it would still be a piece of cake. Even if he encountered a top-notch expert, he would not be defeated. This was the power of the infinite divine body. I'm really interested in the power of faith. However, I have to hear what it is about. Don't tell me that you want me to fight with a top-notch expert or help you restrain him. I can't do that. I'm afraid that the top-notch expert will kill me in a few moves. My bright future will be gone. Of course, Lin Fei had to get to the bottom of it first. This matter is actually quite simple. There is no one in Jiangnan with your strength at your age. Even if there are only a few who can compare to you. Therefore, I hope that you can escort my little daughter to a place. I don't think it's a difficult thing to do. Yes. Chapter 4869. That's it? Lin Fei was surprised. Did the Tang Emperor come to give him the power of faith? For a moment, Lin Fei wondered if he had heard wrongly. The power of faith was too easy to get. What was the point of escorting the daughter of the Tang Emperor to a place? It was definitely a piece of cake. Now that he had the 38th level of infinite divine body, his physical body was strong and powerful. If he could get this batch of power of faith, he would definitely reach the 40th level. His physical body would be strong enough to break any attack. The Tang Emperor smiled. It's such a simple task. I don't think anyone else can do it, but you definitely can. I just don't know if you're willing to do it. The power of faith can't be obtained anywhere. Other than the Jiangnan region and the 3 empires, there are almost no other places that can be ignored. Perhaps it was to let Lin Fei know that the power of faith wasn't that easy to get. the Tang Emperor said with a smile. Back then, in the Jiangnan area, all the people who became gods with the power of faith were wiped out by us emperors. So, if you want to kill them and seize the power of faith, it's impossible. Almost all the power of faith is gathered in the hands of our 3 empires. Alright. This wasn't good news at all. Lin Fei understood what was going on. The Tang Emperor was determined to get him. If he wanted to get the power of faith, they would probably send each other his daughter. Just because of what you said, I have to help you. After all, I'm a helpful person. Since we've met, I can't just stand by and do nothing. I'll accept this task. Lin Fei accepted the task seriously. The power of faith in the Tang Emperor's hand flew over. It appeared in front of Lin Fei. Lin Fei didn't stand on ceremony and kept it. He had to get the power of faith first. As for other things, he would think about it later. Once the power of faith was in his hand, it was instantly converted into honor point. The infinite divine body broke through to the 40th level in one go. Fortunately, Lin Fei had not removed the seal on his physical body. Otherwise, he would have given the Tang Emperor a huge fright. In just a short period of time, his fleshly body had improved by leaps and bounds. Anyone would suspect that obtaining the power of faith would be of great use to Lin Fei. After all, the strength of the war god realm that was cultivated from the power of faith was only average. It was far from being as powerful as Lin Fei. If they knew about this, they would probably be tempted and come up with all kinds of method. The Tang Emperor was indeed a little surprised. I didn't expect this young man to accept the task so readily. Isn't he afraid that I've set a trap for him? He was still extremely confident in his own strength. In any case, he had solved a small problem for the Tang Emperor. Songbai, take him to our little daughter and tell her to listen to this young man. By the way, what's your name, young man? I'm called Lin Mu, a very simple name. Lin Fei naturally gave a fake name. Lin Fei and war god Songbai left in the blink of an eye. A black figure appeared in the sky above the lake and walked over the water. This guy called Lin Mu is very dangerous. You've found the right person. But you're also very courageous. A person like you will most likely become a peak expert in the future. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely be very surprised. Who would have thought that there would be another expert in the lake that didn't leak even the slightest bit of his aura? A peak expert is good. Our great world of the gods has not had a peak expert for a long time. It has become a pool of stagnant water. The Tang Emperor's gaze became profound. His escort this time will be very interesting. It's just the right time for me to show off my skills. Lin Fei and war god Songbai went to the other side and were also in the imperial palace. Brother Lin, you're really courageous. You're the only one who dares to speak to His Majesty like this. War god Songbai didn't know how many geniuses he had seen and how many experts he had seen, but he had never seen anyone like Lin Mu, which was really surprising. Everyone is different. I'm naturally different from others. I dared to speak to His Majesty because I have the confidence and strength. If His Majesty were to act against me, I would have a way to deal with it. But at that time, it would not be a good thing for anyone. How great is it now? He got it and I got what I wanted. Originally, Lin Fei was prepared to ask about the God's restaurant. But after some consideration, he suppressed that thought. He should first earn the power of faith before anything else. The God's restaurant would find out sooner or later. There was no need to rush. Moreover, he had already obtained the power of faith. If he asked about the God's restaurant again, it might raise some suspicions. After all, he wanted to know about the God's restaurant and how to obtain the power of faith. From the Tang Emperor, he more or less got a general idea. The other places did not have the power of faith. Only the Great Qin Empire and the Great Zhao Empire had it. These two empires still had quite a lot of power of faith. As for how to get it, it would depend on Lin Fei. But if his infinite god physique reached the 40th layer, then it would be different. Lin Fei's strength had greatly increased. His physical body had become stronger. Who is this princess that I'm escorting? Don't tell me it's the poisoned one. Lin Fei asked with narrowed eyes. War God Song Bai shook his head. It's not the poisoned one, but the other one. But this one is not easy to deal with. She can be considered a little devil. She is also the most difficult daughter of His Majesty. You have to be mentally prepared. So it was a little devil. This surprised Lin Fei, but he was really looking forward to this escort mission. He knew better than anyone else that this escort mission was not a small one. It should be a big one. Who knows what might happen along the way? Not long after, War God Song Bai brought Lin Fei to the front of a palace. This palace was quite luxurious. There were also experts standing at the entrance. There were a total of 4 experts in the 7-star War God realm. When they saw War God Song Bai, they stood up straight. The princess should be inside. She has never come out. But she has tamed quite a number of animals. Lord Song, you have to be careful when you go in. Lin Fei knew that this princess would cause trouble. Outside, there were even 7-star war gods helping to keep watch. One could imagine. Chapter 4870. This also made Lin Fei very interested in the princess inside. Even the 7-star god of war was guarding outside. Obviously, the Emperor of Tang didn't let the princess go out. She was probably really a little witch. Escorting such a little witch was truly an interesting matter. As soon as Lin Fei came in, with a loud rumbling sound, a black shadow rushed over. It turned out to be an evil beast. It was very fast, but unfortunately, its strength was ordinary. Lin Fei raised his hand and directly caught the evil beast. With a casual toss, the demonic beast scurried away, trembling in fear. Song Bai, who was next to him, also said, "This little princess has such a temper. In our eyes, she is a little witch. These should be some new evil beasts she raised. She has raised many evil beasts in this palace." In fact, Lin Fei could feel it even if Song Bai didn't say it. There were indeed many evil beasts in this palace. These evil beasts were very powerful. I'm good at dealing with little witches. I don't think the Emperor of Tang will do anything to me, right? Lin Fei asked with a smile. Your Majesty, since you are assigned to this escort mission, you will naturally be in charge. So, if the little witch does something wrong, you can help her. Of course, Song Bai knew what he meant. After all, not everyone could control this little witch. Moreover, this little witch's strength was also very powerful. Along the way, many evil beasts rushed out. These evil beasts were strong and weak, but they all had one thing in common, which was that they had mastered certain abilities. Some were fast, some were strong, and some were good at sneaking and ambushing. There were all kinds of evil beasts. It was really like a small dragon's pool and tiger's den. Of course, these were no obstacles for Lin Fei at all. He went all the way to the main hall. Uncle Song Bai, why are you here? Is my father willing to let me out? As soon as he entered the hall, he saw a girl who was about 17 or 18 years old. She smiled as soon as she saw War God Song Bai. His Majesty is indeed planning to let you go, but he is not going to send you to the sacred land of reincarnation, Song Bai said. When the little princess heard this, her face turned pale and she became anxious. I'm not going to the reincarnation base. That place is too dangerous. I'm not going to suffer there. I'm going to tell my father that I'm definitely not going. Song Bai shook his head. What kind of temper does His Majesty have? If he says he won't let you go, then he definitely won't let you go. You should just obediently listen to him. That's right, this is Lin Mu. He will escort you to the sacred land of reincarnation this time. Lin Fei had already obtained a scroll. Naturally, he knew that he was escorting the little princess to a place called the Sacred Land of Reincarnation. He had never heard of this Sacred Land of Reincarnation. It was obviously a place to gain experience. Anyway, his task this time was to escort the little princess to the Sacred Land of Reincarnation. It was that simple. Although the little princess looked a little unruly and seemed to have a bit of a temper, he didn't think much of it. If she wasn't obedient, he would teach her a lesson. Get lost, get lost. I don't need you to escort me. I won't go to the sacred land of reincarnation. The little princess roared in an unruly manner. With a wave of his hand, a cold wind directly flew over and turned into a storm, instantly enveloping Lin Fei. Song Baijian just stood there without making a sound. Then, the storm disappeared. A figure walked over with quick steps. He arrived in front of the little princess. This kind of power is not bad, but you can't even move my body. You should just obediently listen to me. Now I will escort you to the sacred land of reincarnation. He reached out his hand. The little princess felt that she couldn't move and just followed behind him. I won't go. Uncle Song, quickly make him stop, quickly make him stop. But no matter how the little princess struggled, it was useless. Just like that, she was brought out of the palace by Lin Fei. Even the 7 stars war god at the door didn't stop them. In the blink of an eye, the two left the Great Tang Imperial Palace. Your Majesty, there shouldn't be a problem with Lin Mu escorting the little princess to the sacred land of reincarnation. No one can stop them. Just after the two left, the Great Tang Emperor walked out. Of course, he knew what kind of temper his little daughter had. Not everyone could deal with her. At the very least, the experts of the royal family couldn't do it and couldn't do it. But this Lin Mu was different. He could cooperate with the Netherworld Demon King to deal with the other 9 stars war god. Naturally, one could imagine that his temper wasn't something that anyone could compare to. The little princess really couldn't do anything in front of him. It's good to let her suffer a bit. It's also good to let those guys experience what despair is. War God Song Bai naturally knew who the little princess was. That was the sacred physique of reincarnation. This was one of the top sacred physique. Many people had their eyes on this sacred physique of reincarnation. This was also the reason why His Majesty didn't let the little princess go out. Once she went out, her reincarnation bloodline would be dug out. Without the reincarnation bloodline, the princess would no longer exist. So this time, he let Lin Mu escort the little princess to the sacred land of reincarnation to stimulate the little princess bloodline again. However, many people had their eyes on the sacred physique of reincarnation, so this time, he asked Lin Mu. On this side, the little princess kept struggling, but it was useless. The other side was like a mountain, pressing down on her. You don't need to struggle. Since I said I would escort you to the sacred land of reincarnation, I will definitely send you there. Obediently follow behind me and you won't suffer. Otherwise, when I make a move later, you will suffer. Lin Fei looked back at the little princess. The little princess's face turned pale. You dare? My father is the Emperor of Great Tang. If you dare to touch me, I will let Lin Mu destroy you. Even at this time, the little princess still maintained her domineering attitude. After all, her father was a top expert in Jiangnan. A super expert of the 3 empires. She was really not afraid of not being able to deal with this stinking brat in front of her. Lin Fei slightly raised the corner of his mouth. It seems like you don't want to listen to me. Fine, then I will teach you a little lesson. Lin Fei was not so polite. He reached out and grabbed the little princess. His strength directly penetrated her. In the blink of an eye, the little princess trembled with fear and uneasiness. This guy really dared to make a move.